Hey, thanks for buying a cup of coffee. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Voice Actors Night. Tonight I'm joined by three amazing voice actors. We've got Hiiragi Yuu.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. We've got Sylla Aria.
Hello.
Hello.
Now serving.
And we've got a raid.
A raid.
Oh, it's
Which,
junk.
you know,
That's my boy.
Listen, we gotta welcome in the Raiders. Welcome in the Raiders. My name's Roy. My buddy Reese. Features for specializing in voice acting and housing with Café Opens. Square bringing various videos around the little improv sketch comedy combined with role play. More importantly, I'm joined by three amazing voice actors. Like I said, we've got Hiiragi Yuu, we've got Sylla Aria, and most importantly, to not forget, because we need to remember everybody is here. Maybe not queer, but at least we're here. It's Alpha Aniki as well.
What's up? Hi. I'm here. I arrived. I'm here for the job application. Is that online or is that a piece of paper?
I mean, what job are you applying for?
What do you got?
I mean, how well can you wrangle them buns?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Full-time
I've
bun
been known
wrangler?
to.
Yeah, full-time bun wrangler. That's what we're looking
Where
for.
can I sign up? Hello? Is this a group interview? Is this a competition? Do we
All
have
right,
to
you know what?
do
Hold on.
that?
Is that a new term for baker? Is that what that is?
Oh, I
Bun
mean, listen.
wrangler.
If you want to bake, listen, I'm sure I've got a job for you as well, Sylla. I'm
Hell
sure if you want to be a wrangler, you and Alpha, I've got jobs for both of you. Just listen. Just know I can be a little bit of a handful. I hope you're ready.
What about two handfuls?
Two handfuls is pretty common, as Alpha could probably tell you,
Hell
since I didn't fit
yeah.
in his clothes.
Yeah. I need the jacket back, by the way.
We can. I thought I could.
I'm not a fucking cartoon character, Roy. I don't have an entire closet full of jackets that are
You
the
don't
same.
have.
You're wearing
all
one
this-
right
I
now.
was like, are you wearing it?
I have two.
You have two.
I have
Okay.
two.
Oh, okay.
I trade them out.
But like,
That's how it works.
Whichever one is not.
You know what?
wear
No.
whichever one
You know what?
you're
No.
not
No.
washing.
No. You know what? Keep it. Keep it.
Oh yeah.
Keep it. Yeah. Keep it.
Shall we stay winning?
It's yours.
We stay winning in here. We
It is
stay
Okay,
tailored
but
or
winning.
Roy, can I
something.
have it?
The jacket?
Yeah.
Can we swap it back and forth?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Is it a sisterhood of the traveling?
Traveling
Jacket?
VTuber jacket.
Traveling VTuber
The traveling
jacket?
himbo jacket. That's what we need.
The traveling VTuber
Hell
asset.
yeah.
Yes, the traveling
No,
VTuber
the traveling
asset.
VTuber asset is this fucking snail right here.
That's true.
Oh.
That's true. I still need to
The
set him up.
little
I
guy.
keep
Yeah.
forgetting to. It's been so long. All right, so like I have advertised a lot on Twitter and I've talked about for a couple days now, I'm very excited to have three amazing, talented voice actors here with me today. Before we dive into any shenanigans, any more flirting, because I am an insatiable flirt. Anyway, you, why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit of a background? What type of experience do you have when it comes to voice acting?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me again. And also, hello, everyone. Good evening. Hope everyone's had a wonderful Monday so far. My name is Hiiragi Yuu. I am a host VTuber. I work at the Starlight Host Club, where I'm the #1 requested host. And for voice acting, I actually only started to get more into professional voice acting, character voice acting, as a VTuber. Prior to VTubing, I did a lot of stuff that people actually didn't know existed. I did a lot of ebooks. I did a lot of commercials and pitches, trailers, and project pitches and whatnot. And so that was what I specialized in before that. As a VTuber, I've been breaking into character voices more often now, and it's been expanding my resume a whole lot, and it's been very exciting. It's been very, very tumultuous, in a good way. Tumultuous 2 years for me.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely great to
Yeah.
hear.
Thanks for buying a cup
Almost
of
as
coffee.
great to hear as Otter B gifting a tier 1 sub to Tara. Oh,
Let's go.
Thank you so much for buying a cup of
Way to
coffee.
be.
Really appreciate it.
Way to be, Otter.
Yeah, way to be. Way to be.
How'd otter be?
But let us continue on with the experience, background, interests, things of that nature. Sylla, why don't you go ahead and maybe talk about yourself a little bit, talk about your voice acting experience, background, interests, things of that
Oh
nature.
gosh.
Oh, gosh.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Sylla.
Hi.
I saw.
So this isn't the A. Okay. All right. So I've been doing voiceover for on a professional level for just under a decade, which is kind of wild. 3 years to the decade. But
Whoa.
I got started in oh gosh, in like a lot of indie work. My first role in like a video game was Kiana in Honey Pop, if anyone remembers that.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. party. But I'd say like gosh, it's just kind of wild. I'm reminiscing as I'm talking. It's like, oh wow, what a wild ride it's been. I'm most prominently known as Marnie in Pokemon Ultimate Journeys, Priestess and Goblin Slayer. I was Yayoi Uenoyama in the dub of Given.
Hey, thanks for buying a cup of coffee.
Let's see. Oh goodness. This season I'm Neo. I forgot my character.
Oh no!
Did you announce it recently too?
I know, that's what I did this season.
Sylla.
Should I just go to your Twitter?
Recorded it today.
Glance at
my
the smudge
God.
writing in your palm, like, oh,
Go check your email. It's probably in the fucking email chain.
It's Steven,
Word.
but it's smudged. That could be wrong. Don't
Ranger 3?
I'm Neo in Revenger. I was Amelia in the case study of Vanitas, Prado in Gunvolt 3.
Nice.
I've done a lot of stuff. I got started primarily in the indie scene. That's how I got to know Alpha as well.
We'll talk about that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we will, buddy. It's been a long time. But primarily I just hang out in Terra 9 and hang out in my treehouse and play a whole lot of video games, and I make dice.
Or to that sound specifically?
Hell yeah, buddy. That's my only dice making soundtrack. They gotta be sexy.
You know what? That's a fair point. We all gotta explore those those passions. Make that money. Make the cheddar. Anyway.
Make that bread.
Bread.
Cause buns.
Yeah, we were talking about buns earlier, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm keeping it on topic.
Yeah. See,
Snappy. Back and forth.
I get it. You know what? I'm not used to keeping up with this much talent. There's just so much in this room right now that it's like overwhelming me. I can feel it all around me.
You feel it in your buns.
I can feel it in my jellies.
deep in your plums.
Deep in the plums? Where are the plums? You're gonna have to regale me. Where are my plums located?
Jelly adjacent.
Jelly adjacent. Okay.
Check your butthole.
That would have been the perfect time. Chat, come on, you're slacking. It would have been the perfect time to check your butthole. Regardless, also, hi Juzo. Welcome in. And Rayless. I hope you guys are both doing fantastic. Anyway, let's continue. Sylla, thank you so much for that introduction as to who you are, what you do. Now it's time for Alpha. How about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Alpha Aniki, and I am the best big brother you've never had. But I've also been a voice actor for like 6 years or so. It's the worst kept secret in VTuberdom. Yeah, I started voice acting much like Sylla. I've known Sylla almost. I've known them.
It's been over
10
a
years?
decade, I think.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
over 10 years.
I think it's been about a decade.
Just
Oh
like
my
I've
goodness.
just like I've known Sai 10 years. Everyone's like, what? It's like, yeah, this goes deep. These roots go deep, deep into the internet. But yeah, I've been a voice actor a professional voice actor for I want to say like 3.5 years, and then I've been a voice actor, like a hobbyist voice actor, still trying to make a little money on the side for like 6 or 7 years, almost 8. And most of that was indie work. Most of that was done as I was doing college. Most of that was done as I was, moving back and forth from college to like my house and things like that. So it was a lot of like slapdash things that I couldn't never. I'm from Cincinnati, so I don't really have like a studio that I could go to that was big enough to record any anime. All that stuff, everything you probably know me for, has happened in the past 2.5, 3 years.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I moved to LA and started doing the voice actor thing several years ago, and had no idea if it would work or not. I had $200 and I slept on the floor, but that's what you do when you move to LA. You sleep on the floor. You have $200. But now here we are. Now I am doing other work under my stage name, which is the VTuber you see in front of you and the one who interacts with you in the wonderful rich fiction that we have built over on my Twitch page. But right here, the mask comes off for a bit, and we talk about voice acting for several hours.
Well, I do appreciate you unveiling yourself, unmasking yourself a little bit just for our entertainment. I didn't think I'd be asking you to strip for my entertainment. It's
hey,
it felt
I
like
can take the jacket off. That's about it.
I'll take it, cause literally I did take it. I'm not giving it back. Sorry, I gotta swap it with Sylla. It's the only reason I'm allowed to wear Sylla's outfit.
Oh right, yeah.
Because that's happening too.
True.
At some point. Yeah, I have to work up the courage because it's a little spicy. I have to.
What do you mean?
It's
A lot of thigh.
It's just booty shorts and a jacket.
Yeah,
Come
but
on.
not your outfit, but how I was drawn in your outfit. Yeah, you're laughing because you've seen it.
Uh-oh.
Sorry,
Now I'm excited.
it is.
It's spicy.
It's a little spicy. It's a little spicy. Siege had a lot of fun with drawing it. Siege.
I was seeing it drawn, and I was like, oh, hell yeah.
That's why I DM'd you afterwards. I was like, I hope this isn't too spicy. Siege had fun, but I won't post it if it's offensive.
Bro, I'm gonna be so real. The first art I commissioned of myself was hella NSFW.
Nice. Very good.
That does actually bring me to a curiosity, because I'm sure, to some degree, most of us have had our hands in something lewd at some point, in terms of projects or things of that nature. You, I know I've seen you mention the mouse pads.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when they went live.
Thanks for calling me out. You know, I like when you said not safe for work. I didn't even consider that as not safe for work. I was like, I'm fully clothed.
They're tasteful.
Can somebody send me a link? I'm lost. Mouse pads?
Oh my goodness.
Are there mouse pads of you? Do I need to
Are there
buy
mouse
them?
pads
Yes.
on your butt that I need?
Yes, there are.
Let me see if I can pull up a picture really quickly,
Why
and
is
I'll
this
send it
not
right
on my
to.
desk? I will replace my Goblin Slayer chest mouse pad right now,
Oh
you.
my goodness gracious. See, I know
Send it
and
to
I
Roy.
research my guests. You
Oh,
know?
shit.
hell
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
that's spicy as hell.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm fine.
What do you mean the host is completely innocent? Is that true? How do you respond?
Oh, of course, yeah. Safe for work all the time. Family friendly. Great for all audiences of all ages. All the time. Definitely put me on your TV. Full blast. Blast that volume when you have your parents in the room. It'll go great. The last time that happened, somebody came in and was like, I had to mute the TV because you were talking about double penetration. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean...
Wait, I feel like I always miss these conversations.
Say so, my ass.
Oh, God. Listen, I mean, they quite literally did with the double
mouse
pen.
pad. I love this description as well.
No, thank you. They're for wrist support, of course. They're for orthopedic purposes only.
Yes, of course. Now,
Crotch
would you
is the
say...
perfect wrist support.
I was just about to say, is your crotch more supportive? Is your ass more supportive, or your thighs more
'Cause there
supportive?
is some variety here. You have a
I got
choice.
40% more orders for the ass mouse pad than the crotch one, so I would have to say that the kittens have unanimously agreed that my ass is much more supportive than the other.
I guess
get
you can
that.
kind of play off the ass if somebody walks in and looks at your mouse pad, but it's really hard to play off the crotch.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
really
the
tough.
pants are off there, and so
Yeah.
like you could be like, oh, they fell, and they were trying to pick up the spaghetti spill
They
off the
fell,
floor,
and
and
I
they just
couldn't
wanted to-
fell.
pick them back up.
They fell into a precarious position with their legs raised up in the air and almost wearing them like earrings.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, they fell, Sylvie. Thank you.
Okay, you said wearing them as earrings, and then my crafter ass was like, oh, you could make like tiny little pants out of like clay and then put like, this is how my brain works. I was like, oh, you could put that like earrings because I love weird earrings. I was like, oh, now I want to make pants earrings because that's weird.
Yeah,
Merch
just a
drop
pair of
when?
pants.
I'll do it. Don't tempt me.
Oh, I
Sell a
believe
merch
you.
drop?
Make little clay
When? Right
pants
now?
wearing
Yeah,
my
when?
ears.
Yeah, right now. Hey, Jungos, thank you so much for gifting 2 tier 1 subs to the community. I really appreciate the support. And I don't think
Let's
I
go.
mentioned it to Otter gifting another sub to Nate the Moth. I appreciate that as well. Oh, I actually did want to mention this. Nate the Moth is one of the people that you're going to be spending time with soon, Alpha, correct?
Yeah. They are a community manager of mine, so I spend a lot of time with him.
Oh.
Regardless. Yeah.
Well, spending time for a convention specifically. I saw the
Oh,
announcement.
right. Yeah. Colorado Anime Fest.
Yes.
We're going to be at Colorado Anime Fest next weekend. I am going to be there as Alpha and Jonah. And
That's
we'll
exciting.
be doing a lot of different, some VTuber content on, I'm doing, is a panel content? And my worlds are colliding.
Everything's
say so.
content if you
Everything is
if you
content. That
believe.
is true. Yeah,
Everything is content.
But we're doing some VTuber content at Colorado Anime Fest. We have some wonderful friends coming along. CL, another VTuber. Nathaniel's Nate the Moth's VTuber Lepido is going to be there as well. And then who else are we bringing? Oh, Chimeras. Right. Yeah. Chimeras is going to be there as well, selling all sorts of wonderful merch because their merch is fantastic.
I was just sprinting to get the
find out who
list.
they are. Yeah. They, there's a reason for that.
Oh, I found them all right. Trust me. As soon as I saw all the announcements, I was like, wait a minute, I already followed like 2 of these people. Because CL, I just happened to have the pleasure of running into recently through Twitter interactions and them saying nice things about my art recently. But no, that's awesome.
Yeah. We're gonna have a great time. I'm excited.
Good. I'm excited for you. That does bring me curiously to in terms of VTubing content, because obviously all of you guys have done professional voice acting work for a bit now. There's definitely got to be sometimes. Have you been invited, or is this your first time, at least for Alpha, being invited to a convention for VTubing related content, or have you ever been specifically sought out for your VTubing related content?
Yeah. It's all been really recent too, within the last like month or two, because I feel like that's when everybody was just like, oh, so that's who it is. Okay, now okay. But yeah, and it's great being able to explore that. I haven't really gotten to yet, so next weekend is going to be the first opportunity for me to figure out how to do it myself, because at a corporate level it's all uniform, but when you get to the rough and tumble, scrappy indie industry area, it can be anything.
Yeah,
like you can have a booth for one person. You can have whatever the corporate people have, and it's nice. It's I'm super excited to try it out and see if I'm actually fucking good at it.
I wish you nothing but the luck. I'm sure you're gonna kill it.
Thank you.
But what about you and Sylla? Have you guys had any experiences with that yet?
Not yet. Until pretty recently, I kept. I mean, it's one of those worst kept secret in VTubing and voiceover.
Yeah.
I kept my VTubing stuff kind of on the DL because I wanted to see how much I wanted to blur the lines, honestly.
Sure.
Between like the mortal form and then me. But as I've just kind of blurred the lines more and more, people are realizing more and more who's behind the Fae.
Yeah.
And I'm getting more comfortable with that.
Okay.
So hopefully I'd be super interested in doing like cons as Sylla, but we'll see. Honestly, I think it might make me more like, I really like doing cons, but I'm a rampant introvert. So I'm like, it might make me a little bit more comfortable, depending on how I decided to do it. But we'll see. I'm definitely open to it.
Yeah.
It's very like doing a convention as a guest is a lot of the times very tiring because you're running around doing all kinds of, giving a lot of social energy out and, receiving a lot as well. So I can't, I want to see how the difference is, am I going to be more out of energy, less out of energy? What's the time difference? Because if it means I have to do twice as much work.
I was going to say as Alpha,
maybe that's something else, something I got to think about.
For sure. I'm definitely curious to hear how that goes. And Sylla, I'm sure that you are going to get some stuff in the near future as well. But for you as well. Now, I've not heard of things that you have done outside of being you. So I'm curious if you have, as you, landed jobs, positions, roles, been asked to attend events. It can be anything that you were sought out specifically for your skills as a VTuber.
Yeah, I guess I kind of exist in a strange middle ground where everything that I've done pre VTubing all exists in an area where like nobody in this community would have been aware of, because it's all like I get people coming in to ask, especially when I first started streaming, they'd be like, "Do you do voice acting?" I was like, "I guess I do, but in a capacity that you wouldn't know about. Like I'm not able to say like I played this character in a video game or in an anime, but I've like been a part of." University textbooks that like if you took a certain course in this very specific thing, then you would have heard me narrate this entire book to you, or like if you were part of this certain project pitch, then like I was in the starting stages of it. And so it's just stuff that people would not be able to cross over to this part of this community, which is kind of interesting. So it's really split my my resume in half here. I've all of my character voices, roles, a lot of stuff in VShojo Mythos. I'm in a lot of VShojo Mythos stuff.
I am well aware.
And it's all under Hiiragi Yuu, and I'm not credited at all with. And I've added that's like because that's due to me requesting this, so that I'm only credited as my VTuber.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of an interesting thing. I never really thought it would play out that way. But that's how it's gone, and I'm pretty happy with that. Starting VTubing, I still am very careful about my identity, so I wish to keep it that way.
Absolutely, yeah. And I don't mean to put any pressure on you if it came across that way. Okay, good.
See, I feel like that's a really good point. The only reason I do go semi-mask off is I feel like at a certain point, since I've been doing this stuff like professionally, at a certain point there will be so many. I don't mean to sound like full of myself or anything, but at a certain point there are so many people that will have heard my voice in some capacity. And when I stream, this was my stream was pivoting to like a live action camera stream to VTubing. When I stream, people are going to be able to tell. So it was like there's no sense in trying to hide it. But it's like going to the theater production. You come into my Twitch and you suspend your disbelief for the duration of the stream. And there's a wink and a nudge every now and again, and there's references and self-referential things. But I feel like it's already. I was worried about it at first, honestly, but I feel like it's become very effective.
Okay, well, I definitely get that. Just like I get Benjamin Oscar buying you a cup of coffee.
Ayo, Benjamin, thank you.
And
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And we've got Evil Kitty with the 4 months. Thank you both for the support. I really do appreciate it. Enjoy using those emotes all over Twitch for the next 30 days, you.
Thank you, thank you. I actually had I had a question for you guys. Actually, because we're talking about like con appearances and attending conventions as both yourself and as your VTuber. Would you ever like entertain the idea, or if you've already entertained the idea and put it into action, cosplaying as your VTuber?
Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%.
I've 100% thought about it. And I'm deciding how I want to phrase this.
I think you and I have talked about it already too.
No,
Sylla.
I'm pretty sure we talked about it when we hung out last. But I think I definitely would. Honestly, the biggest obstacle is these big flappy things on my back.
Oh yeah.
They might have to be scaled down, but we'll see. I have a lot of really awesome cosplayer friends near where I live, so honestly, I might employ their services at some point because I'm like, this will be a good summer cosplay.
Yeah,
so
it would
depending
be.
how confident I'm feeling, I might.
I like it.
I feel like it's a possibility. I was the conceptual design of Alphonse Mackenzie was supposed to be a little bit of me plus everybody I've ever voiced up to that point. So it's just like a hodgepodge of if there's something on me is referencing something of a character that I voice, and I feel like because of that, it's maybe a little bit easier to cosplay.
Okay.
And my design is fairly simple. It's like a t-shirt and a jacket and sweatpants.
I thought the idea of like because you were going to be attending a con as both your VTuber and yourself. I was like, how hilarious would it be if you ran into one panel as Alpha and then you like ran out to another panel and you're just like, hey, what's up? It's me. Who's that Alpha guy? I've never seen him actually.
Who is that?
Yeah, like who's that guy? I don't.
Yeah, who was the guy hosting the panel before this? Looks like a loser.
Nerd.
Anyway,
What a nerd.
Yeah, jeez. Also, Sylvie's totally right. The hardest part for you, Alpha, is to find a snail for your shoulder.
True.
That's true.
True.
The
It's
best
gotta be
snail, the most
accurate.
The
fitting snail.
amount that I would buy like a horde of plushies of that snail, like I'm not even joking.
Hey,
Aw.
Mark, hit me up.
I was about to say, didn't you actually ask about that recently? I saw you do a Twitter poll. You were trying to see who was interested.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants one. I mean, you want a plushie of the snail, right?
Yeah.
But like at a certain point, you have to figure out the logistics of this stuff. It's
For
like
sure.
how many people would actually buy it? If it costs like $35 to make a plushie, and then I have to sell it for $40, that's like it doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't.
But as a maybe like a limited run drop kind of thing, that would be really cool. And it's not terribly expensive, but I'm doing some research, and I might find ways to maybe sacrifice a little bit on quality and just get them in en masse.
Oh, I feel you. I definitely feel you. I hope that goes well for you, though. I know I've heard some nightmare stories about getting plushies up and running
Boy,
from
yeah, me too.
Joel.
Oh yeah.
And see, that brings up another fun point that I was going to talk about.
Hit me.
Um,
Hit me with the fun stuff. I like the fun stuff.
there are that's what, like, Joel has to worry about that kind of stuff, and I have no idea who Joel is. I don't know who they are, so I don't know if they have other like jobs or something in the background that they have to worry about as well, right? Getting plushies up and running and getting a storefront up and running is one thing, but when you are also, waiting tables or something, because there are VTubers out there that totally have 9-to-5 jobs, and this is not something they are trying to turn into, a giga corporation, a giant IP. It's just something they do for fun.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a fun thing.
No, I get that. I think that's something that's also very true. Probably for voice actors in general, not just VTubers.
That's true.
Mhm, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I only started pursuing voice acting, I should say, seriously. Like, I mean, Sylla can tell you about how we ended up interacting. Was because of our mutual friend Rye.
Love that boy.
I literally went to Rye and I was like, all right, Rye. Like, I started learning voice acting a little bit last year, but like as soon as I hit Twitch partner, I got so caught up in doing Twitch stuff and VTubing stuff that I did not get to do anything voice acting related. I didn't get to practice. I made a demo reel that, while I was proud of at the time, I realized was very much baby's first demo reel. In some of the voices that I'd picked and some of the editing and the fact that it was like 2.5 minutes long. So it was very much like a first attempt. But as soon as I met up with Ryan, I was like, hey, listen, like, do you have anybody that could write me a demo reel or could help me record it? And eventually I got to work with Sylla, and they directed me for it. And it's just, they pointed me towards classes, which I've now finished my first class and I'm taking my second one.
Nice.
So, God, training with Richard Horvitz has been, oh.
I tell my chat often about how much I love Daggett.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Angry Beavers, I know it's obscure, but
no, it's a good one.
No, Angry Beavers is amazing.
That was a good
but yeah,
one.
no, I'm so glad that you're training with Horvitz. I trained with him a whole bunch, and
thanks for
I
buying a
always
cup of
recommend
coffee.
working with him. I know you're doing OTM stuff, and I'm like, honestly, someone else who I can recommend now because I've been working with them is Mick Wingert. I super recommend his classes.
Mick's
He has
great.
it's been a game changer for me. I hadn't been booking for a while, and then I started working with Mick, and it started happening a whole bunch because he just changed my brain. So even when you're like, that's something, I guess, like, you brought up classes, so I'll jump on this.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, do you mind if I
even
just
when you're-
thank Otter for gifting a sub to Strange Box?
Hey,
who-
that's CL.
That's
You know,
CL.
the YouTuber I was talking about? Yeah, that's
Yes!
CL.
Yeah, we were just talking about CL. Welcome in. I hope you're having a fantastic night. Good to see you. And Siege, thank you so much for the lurk. Siege, obviously being the artist that has done so many pieces for me in the past couple of days and weeks that you may have seen me steal Alpha's jacket and much more spicy things to come. But please ignore me being spicy. And Sylla, please continue.
Yeah, it's all good. I was just gonna say, like, even when you're working in the industry, it's so important to continue honing your craft and continue taking classes. I hear a lot of new actors say it's like, well, I don't need to take classes. I'm just gonna get in. I'm like, okay. It's important to be willing to learn, and no matter how far you are, always have a willingness to learn. And honestly, I'm like, learning's fun. It's so fun learning new things and learning
Yeah.
new techniques.
That's just like good life advice, I feel like. Just keep your mind open to learn more things and realize that you're not at your peak all the time, right?
True.
No, exactly.
No, I
One
love
thing
that.
that I noticed with the classes is not only are you going to classes for yourself, but the people you meet in those classes are
yeah.
your graduating class. Like, there will be 1 or 2, 3 people in those classes that you will befriend and become pretty good friends with, and have a rapport with. And then as you guys work more and engage more with the community, there is a lot of good, nice connections that you can have, and not just for work, but friends, like real friends, like real people that you can rely on and talk to and ask advice for, and no longer are you on your own. That's ugh, something it took me a long time to wrap my tiny little pea brain around was nobody does this by themselves. There's always 5 to 6 people helping at some point doing something, and then there's people helping those people, and it's like, we're a communal, species. Like, we have to work together.
Even just having taken one or finished one class and now in my second one, I already feel that. Like at the end of the first on the mic training class that I finished, I was speaking with the instructor afterwards, and they were like, "Hey, look, if you need anything, tell me. You looking for like gigs? You looking for work?" I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize we made that connection. Like, thank you. Yeah, of course."
Yeah, apes together strong.
Yeah, apes together strong.
It's true though.
No matter your VTuber lore, we're all just apes on the inside.
Yep. We're all
That's the
oogas.
moral.
We all return to monkeys.
We all return to monkeys.
Don Clayton.
Where's my there he is.
EXO. Hi. Welcome in. Speaking of voice actors, this man's got some pipes on him too.
Ooh.
Very much so. But yes, training has been fantastic recently. I've been loving. Obviously, I'm not to your guys' level yet. I'm training, but I'm very much enjoying this, and it's part of the reason why I wanted to bring voice actors on. That way, I could speak with voice actors, people that are in the industry, and people that are experience this, especially from a VTuber perspective. Because the funny thing is all of you have now mentioned about the kind of almost double life aspect of having your own life and having the VTuber life, and most of the time that the VTubing and the voice acting doesn't cross over, or when it does, it's very minor. And now I'm thinking about it from almost the reverse, which it kind of sounds like it's where you are now, in the sense of like, I want to get into voice acting, but like my entire brand has been VTubing. Like that's Roy is a VTuber. They're not a voice actor. Like
it's been a little bit less difficult than I thought it was going to be. I thought that there would be a little bit more pushback to hiring me as a VTuber who isn't nearly as established as a person before I became a VTuber. But I guess it's because VTubing, first of all, thankfully has been on the rise over the last couple of years. A lot of VTubing content, especially like clips, have been pushed out to a lot of mainstream audience, and people have been recognizing that VTubing is like a very popular form of content creation. And the other thing is like VTubing, I think live streaming, which is a really new form of content creation for me. I've always done just like recorded content. I've always done music. I've always done like recorded voice acting and voiceovers. But streaming as a form of content is so actually expressive in terms of showcasing a lot of your skills. It's insane. I don't realize it until people approach me and say like, hey, I've watched your clips, and like this particular voice you used at this moment is really cool, and we would like that for this particular role. And I was like, wow, I didn't even realize that happened. And that's just because we're like improving all the time as we're live, right? It's insane. It's insane how much your brain goes through and how many roles your like brain cycles through.
A raid.
Oh,
so hello, Mint.
Yes. Speaking of voice actors,
welcome in.
There we go. We got even more in the house. Welcome in, Raiders. My name's Roy. I'll be your bunny barista VTuber for this evening. Tonight, I'm joined by 3 amazing VTubers who are also voice actors themselves. We've got you.
Hello. Hi, Mint. How are you? Minty Fresh Raid.
Oh, we do love the minty fresh almost as much as we love Sylla.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, big fan. Shut up, Mint. Big fan. And, of course, we've got Alpha as well. Just the tongue.
You gotta use it somehow, you know?
True. You know what?
The first TikTok I ever made on this with my avatar was like, look at this.
Alpha.
Sometimes it's definitely the most important thing to do. No, I like that. But yeah, it is.
Hey,
thank you again, Ben, for buying a cup of coffee, and Cage Sora for buying a cup of coffee as well. You guys have been insane tonight. So much coffee. Careful, listen, you got much more coffee than that. You're gonna have to go to the bathroom. It's ridiculous. Anyway.
Yeah, tell me about it. I got IBS.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
It's lore night, guys. This is lore night.
Oh my gosh. The on the spot lore. It's always canon. And then never canon. And then you bring it up once again.
Just like my nickname. Okay, so this happened like 4 weeks ago. I accidentally, I was doing an ASMR stream, and when I do ASMR streams, it's like scuffed and not good and doesn't like is cursed, actually fucking cursed. We got an AI to write us on the fly like ASMR scripts, and I accidentally called myself. I was gonna say, you know how your brother gets, right? Because I was upset at the ASMR or whatever. You know, I was upset at the AI not doing anything. I was saying, you know how your brother gets, but instead I said, you know how Bobo gets, and that was an accident, 100% a mistake. I had no intention of saying Bobo. It just kind of stumbled out of my mouth, and now chat refers to me almost exclusively as Bobo. When they know, well, sometimes when they really want to mean something, they'll say Alpha, but. You know, if they're trying to bully me, they say Bobo.
Oh, it's like an angry parent thing, like Alpha. What did I tell you about? But then, like other times, like, well, hey, Bobo. What's up, Bobo?
Bobo.
Bobo, our food.
Bobo, our food. God.
Is there a story for that too? Now I'm curious.
There is not.
Okay.
There is not a story.
Fair enough. I hope there's a story about the fact that we're starting at level 2 hype train.
Oh, it is a serendipitous typo. That's so funny.
Bobo,
our fool. I am that I am. That I can talk about.
What, being a fool?
I'm a himbo.
Oh.
Comes with the territory.
True. Understandable.
Yeah.
I do know another himbo who I saw earlier in here that was talking. We got Sylvie.
Yes.
I was like, I can spot a himbo a mile away. I married one. I know what I got into.
Did you marry a himbo, or did you marry someone that also likes to dress up like, you know, sci-fi?
No, they're a himbo.
Okay, fair enough.
Get you a man that has a Megazord.
Yes!
Listen.
Hold on a second. I'm listening.
You know it. The Voltron. Get you a man that's picked a waifu.
Hey, yo, is that a Megazord in your pants, or you just happen to see me?
I'm screaming here. Oh my goodness gracious. No, I definitely want the Megazord. I'll take the Megazord test. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Or the Morpher. Not morbing. Morphing, not morbing.
It's morbing time.
It's actually Gal Gaigar. No. Oh, screaming. So, moving on from oh, thank you so much for buying a cup of coffee.
Thank you.
Oh, do you know them?
Yeah, they're a friend over from Nat 19 where I play D&D.
Hey, welcome on over. I'm glad you guys have been killing it with that. Do you want to talk at all about Nat 19?
If you're cool with that,
yeah, absolutely.
I will happily
give us a good transition. We can talk about D&D afterwards.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So Nat 19 is a group of improv artists, voice actors, and role players. We play D&D twice a week on Thursdays and Saturdays. On Saturday, you can tune into our long-running campaign, Vestige of a Fucus. We're on episode 135 starting this weekend. Yeah, we've been going for a long time. I joined them in 2020. Yeah, it'd be 2020.
Dang.
I joined them at the beginning of the year. We've been a group for about 6 years now. We have, such long campaigns. But if you like really cool art and really in-depth storytelling, I highly recommend tuning in, especially to our Saturday campaigns. Vestige has a lot of really cool deep lore. The storytelling is wonderful. Our DM, Logan, has created one of the most interesting worlds I've ever gotten a chance to play in. So shameless shill for that. He's delightful. If you like Devil May Cry.
Oh shit, okay.
We have a long we've been running for like about a year and a half. We have a game called Devil's Might Surrender, which is a Devil May Cry based 5e campaign.
Might Surrender.
Yeah, it's great. It's somehow Logan managed to capture the stylish comedy but somehow like drama, the dramedy of Devil May Cry. The melodrama in 5e, and it's one of my favorite games I've ever played. I play a tiny tiefling sword saint, which is shameless plug, one of the 5e classes that my friend Logan made. You can go check him out on Drive-Thru RPG. Logan Laidlaw, he's I play a tiny tiefling named Fionnuala Ione, and this is how she talks. She has 5 intelligence. She's very stupid, but she's very wise, and she's one of my favorite people, and she really likes chicken nuggets and her friend Arden.
I mean, chicken nuggets hit diff.
That's so perfect. Oh my god.
But yeah,
I
and
love
then we
them.
also have Princess of the Apocalypse, which is our alternating Thursday game. So definitely come check us out. It's a good time, and I love those boys. They kept me from being homeless in the year of 2021, so I love them with my whole damn heart.
Aww.
I feel that. I feel that with my soul. But
Yeah.
it does bring up a fun transitional topic of D&D. Because I don't know how the three of you got your start, which is kind of where I wanted to go into it with it. I told Sylla about this, that a lot of my own voice training or voice interest prior to actually taking lessons and working with Sylla and what I'm doing now came from playing D&D because I watched Critical Role do it. And I went, I can go to a hobby store and do that. And I did it.
Pipeline's real.
Yeah.
So my curiosity is, and we can start with you, what got you into voice acting, and was it D&D? And if it wasn't D&D, then what was it?
It was not D&D.
No! I tried, guys. I tried.
I do love D&D.
Yes, we got them.
Yeah.
We got them.
We're back in the game, boys.
Oh, we're in there. Like swimming.
I do love D&D. I had an ongoing campaign that actually I had to step out of because I had to put more eggs into VTubing, which is kind of funny. I only have so many eggs to put in the baskets, and I have to decide where to put them. But I played also a tiefling in my campaign, and I was a big fan of it. That was ongoing for like almost 2-3 years. We had a great time. We had like a big group of people with across a completely different time zones. And so what happened was, because myself and another person could only make it every other week, we both occupied this. We were brothers that were born into the same body of one tiefling, and we would like kind of exchange driver's seat every other week.
That is awesome.
That's
and
so
it was
cool.
It's like insane because every other week we'd wake up and just be like, what the hell did they do last week?
Oh my
Look in your bag of
God.
holding and be like, what the fuck did you guys buy? Like,
Where's my money?
yeah, I was saving that piece of pie for later. Shit. Anyway, it was a really fun campaign. I had a lot of fun with it. I did have to step out, unfortunately, but like that was life changing. I got my voice acting interest in voice acting starts, and I feel like maybe a few people either in the stream or even in chat would remember. Maybe have gotten the same start there, but it's Voice Acting Alliance, the forum.
You're not the first person I have heard that from. It probably
Sorry
won't be
to
the
bring
last.
up a term from the old internet, but
Old internet. Oh, baby.
You could power a nuclear reactor with how spicy some of those forums were.
oh hell yeah,
Oh man.
it is insane. But yeah, like I've bumped into a bunch of people who were like, "Hey, I came from that forum. I did stuff on that forum too." And obviously, I see a lot of people whose names were very recognizable during the time that I first started doing. They were called fan dubs back then because they were fan dubs. None of us were making any money off of it. We're just doing it for passion. But that's where my interest started, and where I started looking into doing it as I don't think I ever like considered it as a career, but just like looking into doing it seriously.
Okay. I mean, hey, that's a start just as much as every other person has a start. And I'm glad to hear more D&D talk because, you know.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Now, Sylla or Alpha, whichever of you wants to go next.
You go Alpha.
Okay. I kind of. Well, so I'll start like some of the older voice actors that you ask. Well, if you ask them this question, they'll be like, I accidentally, I fell into it. It was, something to do on the weekends. It was just some fun thing. They needed to, like, a lot of the Dragon Ball actors have that same story where it's just like, it was just a bunch of theater dudes together, like fucking dubbing Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But nowadays people actually deliberately, seek out this kind of work. And I didn't know that this was a job that you could do. I was a theater student for over a decade. I've been a student of theater since I was 8 years old. That's what I went to college for. I was doing a theater show, like 4 or 5 of them every year. This is what I did. And I just thought that was acting, and I knew like, on camera acting, that's the good acting. And then, right, then you do theater acting and you're like, oh, okay, this is, it's off Broadway actors. They eventually make it to TV or something like that. And that's what I imagined it to be. But I was playing Titanfall, and at the time, the person my girlfriend at the time was like, you sound like the main character who was played by Matthew Mercer.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what do you mean? That's not. And then I did a little bit of research, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is a guy who does almost exclusively this, and this is his job. And there are a lot of people like him, and this is a thing I could do, because at the time I was like, do I want to go to Broadway or like off Broadway, or try to go to Broadway, or do I want to, you know, go to film? I have my qualms with each of those, and I'm like, I don't know why none of this appeals to my lifestyle. I love video games too much. I was playing semi-professional League of Legends, so that was sucking a lot of time with like scrimmages and stuff, and I had to go to rehearsal and stuff. So this was just the perfect fit. Voice acting was the perfect fit, because I was able to act my ass off, for pretty much everything that I was a part of, and I was able to have time out after that, because we did everything in 4 hours, no rehearsal needed. You just go in there, you get it done, and then after that, I can do things like what I'm doing right now. I've been a streamer for 10 years. Like I've been doing this for a very long time, and this is just kind of giving me, this is the next inevitable phase. It really is.
VTubing.
Yeah, VTubing, voice acting. I'm so glad that I'm able to balance these two things. And as much as I do miss the stage, I do miss doing theater shows. I miss it. I miss it every year. If you're bit by the bug, you never truly are cured. I want to do Shakespeare or something like that again. But I'm able to exercise things like my voice. My Alpha is a rock star. That's his thing, right? So I get to be vocalist on a lot of tracks and albums and things like that we were putting out. I'm actively, making music and things like that. And I'm able to express parts of my creativity that, theater wasn't letting me, because I wasn't like a playwright or something like that. But now I can just dictate where this world goes, what this guy does. It's like RPing, just like D&D.
Wow. Look at that. It's almost like role playing
is a circle ending.
Yeah.
Also, we stream D&D too on my channel every Wednesday. We have a One Piece inspired anime-esque. Those were custom rules, right? What you were talking about with the Devil May Cry stuff.
Yeah, we have a whole like style point system.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
The DM for our Wednesday group has kind of adapted something like that, where it's this custom set of rules for basically like weird anime trope plot points, where it would be like, oh, you can declare somebody in the campaign as your rival, right? And then eventually your rival will come back, and there'll be different things you can do. You can sacrifice half your health to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna fight this guy right here, and both of you will sacrifice half of your health to like engage in a fight with just mano a mano kind of shit. And there's a lot of fun little tricks that we can do. At the end of the last session, my character's rival, Harlow, came at him, and he's like, hey, look, I'm here, bitch. We're gonna fight right now. It's like Gary Oak showing up, right? It's like, okay, it's time to battle, and we're gonna see who wins. I'm excited to start that up again. But yeah, D&D is a huge exercise in just role play with a little bit of math.
I like it a lot. I'm a big fan. I've missed D&D so much though.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I don't know if you guys have ever had the experience of like when you're playing D&D and you ever had to DM for the first time?
Yeah.
And then you're never not DMing?
I love DMing. When I started, I did a campaign for my roommates a while back, and a couple of other people who worked at a studio nearby, and I had a blast. I love doing all the different voices and coming up with names for people on the fly.
I feel that.
I was very much. I stole a lot from like classic fantasy,
sure,
and like World of Warcraft, which is inspired by like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and things like that. So
for sure,
I don't have any sort of like niche fantasy setting. But what are your guys'? Do you have a favorite setting, Sylla? You?
Shameless, but favorite setting is what we play on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Favorite setting
That's
is
awesome.
Somnus Domina. I'm like, I love classic Forgotten Realms, but I'm like, Somnus Domina is really cool because I know nothing. So then I can really I'm the self-proclaimed lore master of our group.
Okay. So you take the notes. You take the notes.
Oh yeah. No, I have, oh gosh. I think I've filled up like 6 notebooks in the last 2.5 years with actually no, it would be more like 8 notebooks, because I also take specific journals, because my character Aviana, she takes journals in character. So
wait, yeah, you showed me these.
Yeah, no, I showed you my bookshelf
Sure.
of journals. So I take those journals and then I write them by hand and then I put them in a Google Doc for my DM. And then if anyone were to take my journal in game, I can give them that Google Doc.
That's fucking awesome.
That is amazing.
That's
Yeah.
like some Skyrim book shit. Like
I'm
I love
super
it.
extra.
How
five
long
hits
does it
for
take you
me.
to take those notes? That sounds like the only reason I don't take notes during D&D is because I like to remember the plot points and everybody else can remind me. But it's that seems like a lot of work.
Not really. Honestly, I'm the kind of person where if I don't write it down, I'm not gonna remember. And if I
Okay,
type it, I don't remember. So I have to take notes by hand.
Oh, I feel you. Yeah.
So if I take them by hand, I'm gonna remember. And
for sure.
I'm like, I like knowing stuff in game. And it's actually it's kind of rewarding because it helps my fellow players a lot. Because we had like a couple sessions of like our Devils Might Surrender campaign where like someone's like, I don't remember this lore drop about my backstory. And I'm like, hold on, I got you. And I like flipped through, I ran out into my living room, found the notebook that I knew it was in, because I have a weird memory of what book things are in. And I found my notebook and I flipped to the page and I took like a picture of it on my phone and I just texted it to him.
The oddly specific memory is always the best.
Yeah, I don't know why. And people be like, this happened then. I'm like, actually, no, it was session 41.
Actually.
Yeah. I mean it in like the most wholesome way. I'm like, actually, it was like session 41 around the midway point because we were talking to this person because we were talking to them about this thing, which led to this. I'm like, how? And why do you know this? I'm like, I don't know, man.
Now,
It just works.
I'm curious about something because I saw somebody pop up in chat, and this is going to be for Alpha, mainly because Hiiragi Yuu and Hi Vex. Vex mentioned wanting to wrestle you. Is there a D&D style story behind that? Are we about to roll initiative here? Like, what's going on?
No, Vex is just attracted to me, and that's okay.
Oh, hell
yeah.
That we're allowed to simp for Alpha. Everybody is.
You know what?
I'm an equal opportunity.
Completely
himbo.
understandable. Yes.
I mean, there's a reason I don't want to give your jacket back. I think I look really nice in it, just without the undershirt.
Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce is very expensive cologne, so that does not wear off.
It's okay. I'll
Easily.
make sure that you smell like me before long.
You just want to give it a good.
Is that a promise? You wanna give it a good huff?
I mean, listen, if we spend enough time together,
Snails. It smells like sausages and
it smells like glizzies.
Hell yeah.
cold pipes.
Not the
Oh.
glizzies.
Oh, exactly what I want jackets to smell like.
Glizzies, yes. Absolutely.
Gamer sweat and leaky apartment. Oh.
We're allowed to
So
shrink
you
for the
say
homies, true.
glizzies, my brain automatically went to this toy called Glitzy Globes that I did a bunch of commercials for back in the day.
Glitzy globes.
They're
Is it
called
like
Glitzy
Glitzy
Globes. It's like Glitzy Globes out now from Moose. They're from like Moose Toys, and I did a bunch of commercials for them.
Oh goodness, I looked them up.
Well,
Yeah.
let me open a tab
You
here.
said
I'm
glizzies,
curious
and my
as
brain
well.
was like Glitzy
Glitzy
Globes.
I know,
haven't
listen-
done that in a while.
Listen to the like tagline
This
on
is
this.
something
Like,
you'd buy at
make it,
fucking
fill it, and
Walgreens.
shake it.
Wait, what is it?
Make it, fill it, shake it.
Make it, fill it, and shake it, bro.
Ooh.
Sounds
Make it. Fill it, shake it.
That's what I do on a good date night.
Hell yeah, baby.
You can buy them right now on Amazon.
You can.
Yeah.
I've
Wow.
been really tempted to be like, I did the commercial for that.
I just closed the
I
tab and
honestly
use
should.
ass was in my face. Sorry. We'll explain.
I mean, are you really complaining though?
No.
I will never
No.
complain
You-
about that. Boob.
You is there to support you. It
Someone
says it
please
right
send
there.
more messages so that gets out of your eyes. I'm so sorry.
I refuse.
Someone else send something in chat, please. I'm begging you.
Never! We'll just keep deleting them. Oh my goodness. Though, I am curious, speaking of merch ideas like this, do you guys have any big merch ideas? Because I know we talked about like the potential of
yeah.
a Claude plushie, but do any of you have ideas of spillover with your VTuber characters?
Man, I don't know. I imagine doing it with other VTubers. Oh my god.
Oh my
Sylla, what the fuck? Oh, that's cool.
You said to send more messages. I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
what
You
you're
know,
talking
true.
about.
You're
That's
right.
good.
You're
Fair.
right.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
Fair.
I appreciate it.
I'm
Absolutely.
doing what was asked.
I guess I have an answer to this.
Sure.
I'm making a graphic novel about my
Oh.
VTuber, and
Yeah.
it's basically why I look the log line of it for you to like buy it as this is why I look the way I look. You know, why does he have a scar? Why does he have a black eye?
Oh, I love
right?
it.
You know, a lot of why. And there's a lore reason. Actually, hold on. I can.
Why is
Why
that a
do I?
snail?
Why do I have? Why do I have these?
The grabbers,
Oh.
the slashers.
Why? I don't know. Well,
You want to
you might.
grip Nux?
Yeah.
Wait,
Why is he so silly goofy?
Why is he so silly goofy?
true.
You can find out in the comic book, and in the comic book, I live in the future, in 2123, the concurrent year, 100 years in the future, right? Whatever it is. And because of that, it's a massive cyberpunk version of Tokyo, and there are advertisements everywhere, as is classic in cyberpunk. And I'm going to be going to all of my VTuber friends when we get the art finalized and we have the dimensions and everything, and asking them to be on the billboards. Everywhere.
hell
So it's
yeah.
just going to be
That's so
full
cool.
of ads of them selling things. And I ask them what they want, what would they like to sell, what would they like to be an ad for, what would they like to advertise, you know, and they basically make it, and then the artists will interpret that into the comic book.
That's so meta. I love that.
That's
I
the
really do.
spillover. The in universe, the Triple Time Entertainment is the like Giga Corporation that owns all media. like
Triple
Disney.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of that, they own VTubers. So they'll own all the
Oh,
VTubers.
no!
And
Oh, no.
The one in particular that I think we're 100% on this. I have to send them a couple more messages, but Iron Mouse wants to be in an action movie.
Oh
Oh.
hell yeah!
So there's like banners and stuff with like Mousy in an action movie, or like, you know, who else do we have? We have
Die
Mim
Iron.
selling. Mim is selling clothes that they can turn invisible, just like
Oh.
immediately.
Just
like
a,
just the clothes,
You
or
can-
like
yeah,
a
just the clothes, like lingerie.
okay, that
and
sounds
stuff,
very mim.
yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I support this. Where can I where can I get a
Thanks for
sample?
buying a cup of coffee.
Where you can get a sample of the comic book? Or
No.
Mim?
I don't know if I can handle a
We
sample
all
of
want a
Mim.
sample of
I would
Mim,
need
okay?
their explicit permission for that first. I don't know if we're that close. I meant the clothes. Damn it. Okay. Sometimes the idea of going, you know, just I like that idea.
Yeah.
Do it for tactical invisibility.
Right. They're still there, though, so you can't like take a shower or anything. They're like there. They're physically there.
Yeah, but sometimes you just want to. Yeah, like what Sylvie said, underrated shit. Sometimes you just want to, you just want to show off though. You know, you just want to. You see someone cute walking down the street, maybe a cute incubus, a cute succubus, a cute guy with a
Whatever.
robot arm that has claws. You just go, hey,
That's me.
how you doing? Just remember, we don't share
I'm bad at
food.
winking.
You-
Oh, yeah, we don't. Yeah, I'm bad at winking. I'm sorry.
do the
tried.
double wink. It's called blinking.
the double wink. It's too
Yeah.
powerful. Just like Benjamin Oscar's too powerful, giving a sub to Vex.
Hey!
Thank you so
Let's
much.
go.
When you see someone cute, just play fart with reverb. Yeah, I tried that several times. I got slapped.
You know what's actually hilarious? Just because Sylvie brought it up. So, Sylvie very much recommended to me that I start taking very out of context moments from my stream and turning them into sound alerts. And
Oh, yeah, dude.
I'm glad that no one has played the one that I'm thinking of yet, and I kind of hope that they do at some point. But there was one where I was trying to explain my sexuality, and I am pansexual, because someone was like, "Oh,
Let's go.
Roy's a gay and afraid of dicks," and I was like, "What do you?" I was like, "What do you mean a gay?" I was like, "I'm pansexual. I like women. I like men. I like NBs. I like boobs. I like dick." And I he just cut there, but that's the sound bite. He's clearly
So
for gay.
pans-
True.
They can't let us loose in kitchen stores.
Oh my god, there's so many. There's so many of those jokes already. And
I know.
Oh my god. Like, come up with some better ones, you know?
No, I'm like, come up with better ones, but I will
Yeah.
continue to say the bad ones
Oh,
because
yeah.
they make me giggle.
Yes.
Hold on, I made a bunch of sound alerts the other day
Hit
out
me.
of like out of context stuff. I'm gonna upload probably what my favorite one is. I think Sylvie has seen these. Where is it?
Sylvie just has good ideas for sound alerts, I'm not gonna lie. Because he's always watching and you don't think he is.
Okay.
Just waiting for Alpha to add in a redeem where his mouth is removed.
What?
Oh, why?
What?
I can't. talk.
Hello?
Not allowed. That's the redeem that I put up. It's
Oh,
fucking
I love
hilarious.
that.
Can I play it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I could. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Oh, great! It's a fucking VTuber.
Oh, this one!
Oh, I love that. Oh my god.
Wait, one more time.
Oh, great! It's a fucking VTuber.
Oh my
Oh my god, that's
There's
brilliant.
so much passion behind that.
Oh no, Sylvia, I saw your image earlier today. Yeah, that was taken from a stream that was like 4 years old before I became a VTuber.
See, the glorious thing is none of us are VTubers. What are you talking about? We're all clearly voice actors here. One of
We're
us
apes,
is
allegedly.
we're apes. There we go. One of us is not a professional voice actor yet, but that actually does make me curious because all of you did refer to yourself and make the clear distinction of being a professional.
Yeah. Okay.
What is, because you also talked about your career leading up to being a professional. When did you find the moments, any of you or all of you, when did you find those moments of what you considered yourself to be a professional voice actor or a professional VTuber if you consider yourself one?
I don't think I considered myself a professional voice actor until I was like working in a booth.
Yeah.
But I was always told that the distinction about being like non-professional and professional is you're getting paid to do what you do, which I can agree with. But I think for me personally, as personal like self-fulfillment, I guess, is I didn't consider myself a professional until I was booking in studios and booking with studios, and that's when I went, yeah, now I'm a working professional actor.
Gotcha.
Because I had always said I'm an actor up until that point, because I was like starting in like theater and show choir and things like that, and voice acting from like my tiny bedroom and things like that. But I was like, yeah, I'm an actor, but I wasn't a professional actor till I was in studio.
Okay.
Personally.
So like what Kreb is saying, industry level is where you kind of drew
industry
the line.
level is kind of what I considered professional, but everyone has a different take, and that's just for me personally. Honestly.
Okay. And speaking of professionals, we have Nate here as well. We were just talking about them. Right?
I think that it wasn't like me. There was no goal or anything like that. But the moment I realized, like, oh, I think I might be pretty good at this, was when I got called back for another role.
Ooh.
And I didn't. Right, I didn't have to audition. Right, where
that's really cool. Yeah.
I had been at a studio once. I had engaged with the community at that studio, with like the casting director. Once, right, and then several months pass, and they're like, we need you back for nothing huge, but like, we need you back for this. That made me realize, as actors, we are creatures of validation. We chase it constantly. So being validated by saying, I need you right now for this character who has a name, maybe not be huge, but like this is a principal character. And you get to play again. There you go. And it was the fact that we needed to get this done really quick, and we didn't have time for auditions, or maybe it was you needed somebody backed out last minute, and you needed to fill a role, and I was the closest match to the voice type, right? But like, that was really neat.
Sure.
For this character, it's like I thought of you for this.
I
feel like I had agency.
I like
in
that.
the industry.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Almost as much as I like the raid from the Echo.
Hello, Raiders.
Let's go.
Welcome in, everybody. My name's Roy. I'll be your bunny barista VTuber for this evening, specializing in voice acting and house of this cafe called the Cup of Dusk, where I bring in various VTubers around the internet with a little improv sketch comedy, come out with roleplay, but more importantly, I'm joined by 3 amazing voice acting VTubers themselves. Well, that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks. Thanks.
Roll the credits, everyone.
Roll credits. Thanks.
Ending screen, please.
I told you it was going to come at the most unimportant time,
You were going so well.
It was going so well.
You did a great job, Champ. I'm proud of you, buds.
I just listen. The dick just came out of nowhere. I don't know what to say. It just.
The dick came out of your mouth.
Is that what it did? Oh no!
You have 4 arms. You have 4 arms.
But like I said, I'm joined by 3 other amazing VTuber voice actors. We've got you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, Raiders.
Hello. And we've got Sylla.
Hi, I'm still dying.
Well, maybe Alpha can help you not die. We've got Alpha.
Hey, what's up? Hi, I'm a VTuber.
Perfect.
Oh, great, a fucking VTuber.
Oh, wait, I got it.
Where?
Oh, great, it's a fucking VTuber.
Yeah, sorry. We're just
That's so good.
so
So
good.
good.
I can't
want
get over how
that.
good that is.
I want that as my text tone for you.
Honestly. Oh, jeez.
Oh man.
Oh, that got me. That one got me.
That was good.
That one for sure got me. Oh my goodness. I don't remember what I was talking about. I got distracted by double dicks now. It's just gone. What were you saying?
Double dick down.
Double dick downs? No.
Anyway.
Maybe later.
Promise?
I mean, listen, if you're offering,
watch.
I'm not gonna complain.
I'll watch you guys, but I'll watch like this, so you won't know I'm watching.
You won't know where you're looking.
Yeah. I'll just be like sitting in the corner like this.
Wait, but I'll just ask you to join in at that point.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
I was waiting for my turn.
Oh, no, listen, it's always your turn.
You're gonna make me. I did it. I'm getting better with these switches.
We got him. We got him, chat. We got him to
You're a
blush.
switch? Sorry.
Huh?
Yes.
This just in, confirmed. Alpha is a switch.
We've triple confirmed this on my stream.
Breaking news.
Not
Alpha
surprising
is very
anyone.
polite until he's invited to the bedroom.
That's a win. Alpha, I invite you to my bedroom. There we go. If we had to
like
Okay,
a sex
cool.
vampire, like you can't enter
Yeah.
until you're invited,
mean,
which honestly, yeah, I feel like everyone should be like that. Actually,
I like
maybe
Right?
That's-
Ideally, you're always invited in.
we should all be sex vampires. We should
We
aspire
should
to be
all
sex
sex
vampires.
vampires.
Dang.
I
You with the
already
advice
got
here.
Fangs.
Yeah.
I already
Oh.
got fangs. I'm partway there.
I have fangs too. No one expects a bunny with fangs. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
I'm Banicula.
Banicula, yeah, suck the color out of everything.
Sylvie, you can't come inside without permission. It's just words to live by.
No, help.
They're
Oh,
not raw.
No, not at all.
I just need somebody. I need not an adult, but I need somebody.
Gotta be
I need
invited to come
somebody. Help. Oh no. So sex vampires aside,
Aside, okay, well,
I mean,
Which side?
inside.
Okay.
Screaming geometrically.
Walls.
That's me. That's me. I'm always screaming geometrically. That's what I do on the daily. Which one is Count Cocula?
That's me, baby.
My count. Oh, count my count.
What are you
Fantastic.
geeks?
What? I don't even remember what we were talking about. My ADHD brain just like I don't even have ADHD. At least I don't think I do. But I.
The last
completely
question
forgot.
was when we thought we were professionals.
That's
and
right.
You hasn't answered yet.
You.
oh no. I was going to say the same thing as Sylla. I was going to say that the moment that a lot of my first gigs were done also when I was in university, and because we were all poor university students, I was often paid in coffee gift cards and like Visa gift cards and stuff like that, where they could report it back to their like faculty admins and get it compensated that way. The first time I felt like I was actually perhaps like not quite. I feel like professional is such a large word that I feel like I can never live up to. But the first time that I felt like, hey, I could make something of this. I feel like maybe I am doing something productive with this. Is the first time I got paid and not gift cards and Visa gift cards.
Yeah. Getting a paycheck is nice.
Yeah, it does feel like it solidifies something, like seeing, as much as I don't like to make it, especially with the arts, I don't like to make it about money. The feeling of seeing like monetary gains through doing things, pursuits in art makes you go like, oh, hey, wow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's so fulfilling. Like the first time you get paid for VO, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I might be good at this.
Yeah, but
You can pay rent.
CL.
think?
Is
Yeah.
this
If you can
money?
pay rent, is this money?
Yeah.
For
Yeah, I
exchange
like
for goods and services?
Oh my
I
god.
paid my car insurance. I had like a few months of like car insurance from like my payment from Honey Pop. I was like,
Dude,
Oh, I
I
love
feel
that
whenever
for
I
you.
whenever I pay for an adult thing, I feel like a kid doing something wrong. Yeah. I'm
Oh
like,
no, yeah.
am I like because I feel because I when I get paid for VO work, it's either like after I've done the work, you know, weeks after I've done the work. So it's not like I'm actively getting a paid. There's some places that pay you immediately, but
mhm.
it's you don't actively get paid as you exchange goods and services.
Sure.
So it just kind of shows up one day, and then you start paying for bills and stuff, and you're just like, is is this real money? Is
Yeah.
this like... You're
Is
not
this real
fucking
life?
with me,
Little,
are
like,
you?
Is that
Really?
real money?
You know, when I realized I really had that, I was like, oh, I'm doing this as a career, is when I had to start putting it on my taxes.
Oh no!
Fucking
Wait,
taxes,
no, I
dude.
don't want to think about
Oh,
that. Hold
man.
on.
But also, Dax, yes, I was in Honey Pop. I was Kiana.
It's, you know what's
Yeah.
actually kind of funny?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I was thinking of a different game. Actually, I don't know.
I don't know.
So, well, there's Honey Pop, but I can't remember. Do you know?
There's also Honeycam Studio.
I'm thinking of. Is it House Party? Is that the game I'm thinking of?
House
I
party.
don't know.
It's like I can't remember specifically, but there's another VTuber by the name of Tiffany Witcher that has also done voice acting related stuff, and I thought it was Honey Pop for a second, then I remember that wasn't the name.
Oh.
Hey, there you go. There's Tiffany.
Hey!
Speak
I
her
voiced in
name,
House
and she'll
Party.
be here.
Oh, shit,
Oh,
really?
hey, that's me. I voiced in House Party.
I got the names mixed up. I was like, Honey Pop, House Party, same thing, right?
House Party's a great game.
How do
Yeah,
you
I love
mention
House
me?
Party.
I've never played it, but Tiffany has told me many a thing about it.
I've never played it.
It's so silly. It's
I've
so
seen
silly.
clips of people playing it, and it looks like fun.
It's very funny because they use a like free Unity asset for a house that now everyone knows as the House Party house.
Hell yeah!
Every single time you play another indie game that has that house in it, like I feel like 60%, 70% of
house
people
from
are
House
like,
Party?
"That's the House Party." Yeah, exactly. Is that the House Party? But hold on.
I've never played it myself, but anytime I think of
You should,
anything
you
House
should.
Party related, it's just I think of Tiffany. It's just the stories I've been told. So, but it's funny that you mentioned the whole like being paid and everything like that. Obviously, I have not gotten to the point of having to claim voice acting on my taxes or anything like that. VTubing, on the other hand, that is a different story. But with voice acting, I've been paid it once, and I just remember the feeling of like, wait, I was just a background voice. Like I was a character that had like 2 lines. Why did like, huh?
Yeah, and then you get fucking you get like union ADR looping, which is different than doing dubbing. It's the same process, but it's like this is for a major motion picture where you will get like 1 line in this major motion picture, and we may not use it.
Oh,
You're here
wow.
with 20 other actors, and you're still going to get paid, quite frankly, what I believe to be a ridiculous amount of money to be there for like an hour and say this 1 line as a voice actor. Yeah, that I did that. I've done that 4 times, and every time it's just a trip because I'm used to doing anime and like video games where you get in, it's boom, 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 and the faster you get it done, the better. It's quality and quantity at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, here they get you for the whole day, for 8 hours of your day, if not longer, if they decide to go over.
Wow.
And you're just there at that
Mhm.
studio all fucking day, just throwing shit out. You know,
Yeah.
I was in the fucking I was in the Elvis biopic. And I got directed by
Oh,
Baz
let's
Luhrmann.
go.
Oh shit, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it
I
was
didn't know
That's
nuts.
so
that.
cool.
Yeah, I have 1 line, and try and listen for it. And I'm putting on a southern accent, so it's like really hard for me. You can't really understand it. They wanted people from Kentucky. I'm originally from Kentucky,
Yeah.
and they got me in, and I got the gig. So,
Hey.
I've been
So
in
proud
4
of
movies
you.
like that, and every time it's very wacky because it's like going to work for the day rather than, oh, I have 3 sessions at this studio, the studio across town, and then I have to go home. Right? That's a lot different.
It's really strange. I've had an experience very similar to that, not for voice acting, but for extras acting. And it was really interesting because the one thing I remember on top of everything that you described was how many NDAs I had to sign.
Paperwork. That's a huge thing. There's
Yeah.
so much fucking paperwork.
Oh my
There's
God.
so many pieces of paper, and I felt like by the end of like the however many signatures I had to do, I was like, they're gonna sue me for sure, right? Why else would they be asking for so many signatures from me? I walked away from that going like, they're gonna sue me. I don't know what I've done, but I feel like I'm getting sued.
That's how I felt. I did a bunch. There was this one summer. There was a bunch of like Disney Channel, like straight to TV movies happening in my hometown, and there was one I can't remember. I think it was wound up being called Zapped, but at the time it was called Unleashed, and I was doing like background work. I'm like, oh shoot, Zendaya's on set. That's neat. And like they were filming it like some like my old haunts. I was like, this is wild, but there was so much paperwork.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Ooh, I'm fresh out of college, and
Yeah.
I don't have the money if I get sued. I'm working at 2 coffee shops to make ends meet."
I just hear the horror stories of NDAs, and I'm just like, huh? I haven't had to work with them yet, but like just the thought process of them.
It's a lot of fun, like legal lingo, and like oftentimes I've definitely worked with other people from like countries, and also like law enforcement, and also like law jurisdictions that like don't extend to where I am, but they make you sign NDAs anyway, because I feel like it just feels more official that way, to be like, you know, don't leak this anywhere. It'd be really complicated and not worth our energy or money to sue you, but don't do that.
Yeah, don't do
that's
that.
that's the thing. I've been victim to almost leaks. I've been victim to, like, you know, getting a phone call from my agent that's like, "Hey, so somebody did you say anything?" There's people like speculating that you're voicing a character or something like that, and it's like characters that, you know, I have never, like, in a property I've never touched before. Or, you know, and it's like, no, what do I do at a certain point? There's nothing you can do, and you just have to let fans speculate and things like that. But I wasn't in breach of my NDA, and it's honestly quite difficult to breach NDA, because the people who are going to enforce it are only ones that want to cultivate like a direct fandom with people online, and try and cultivate that, because like it's not 1865 anymore where you sign an NDA and it's like, don't tell anyone about this, or by tell anyone we mean don't go to the newspaper with this.
Yeah.
You know, by tell anybody we mean don't stand on the street corner with a megaphone saying this. You can tell your bartender, and then even your bartender could tell 4 or 5 people. But at that point, it's like nobody important is going to know this information, right? So it's a sticky wicket nowadays when you get things like Twitter and you tweet the letter A and everyone on the planet can see you tweet that. It's crazy. I made a tweet the other day where I'm just like, I don't think people understand the power of like having a tweet or something like that, have an impression on 10,000 eyeballs.
Oh,
You took 1 second from somebody's day.
It's insane.
That's insane. And it's
Social media is crazy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gotten crazy in the past couple of years, especially because of how fast we see everything too. Like even just announcements, like you're talking about like the bartender telling a couple people, and that would have taken maybe like a day for all that information to get out there. That A that you tweeted is now seen immediately by that many people, and then spread by 10,000 other more people because of things like quote retweeting or like link sharing, and even just word of mouth at that point too. It's ridiculous.
There's just also like people, and that's I think that's to each their own. I think that everybody does uses their time the way that they would like to, but there are people who like chronically document every single thing that certain people of notable fame do. And so it just really does not matter what you say and how fast you delete anything that you tweet out into the internet. If you make it public for more than a second, it's going down in history.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
It's insane.
That is the terrifying part for NDAs for me, because I haven't really worked.
Scary.
I haven't worked with any of them yet, but I have that feeling of like, hey guys, just booked a gig. It's my first ever thing. I'm a main character in something. I'm really excited, and then I'm gonna be like, oh wait a minute, probably shouldn't have said that.
It's serious stuff sometimes though. Like if you're a part of a major property or something like that, and then that information gets out publicly to like, again, like a newspaper or some online article producer or something like that, they could effectively sue you if you were the one that did that. But a lot of it, I was gonna say like Tom Holland. So here's my opinion. My roommates know my opinion about leaks, but here's my opinion about leaks. I don't think leaks exist. I don't think a lot of the leaks that become like mainstream, like Tom Holland, he doesn't leak shit. Marvel tells him to say stuff, and that's not, you know, and like some of the Sony leaks where it's like, oh, they leaked a leaked version of this video game got on the internet. No, we want you to play the video game right now and tell us what the fuck is wrong with it, and then we're gonna, you know, take 6 more months to finish the video game. When it comes out, you'll be like, huh, all this shit was fixed. Weird, right? So it's like, I don't think leaks exist.
It's so funny that you say that though.
Agree.
I 100% agree. The big one that happened recently that cemented my brain in that is the roster for Street Fighter 6 got leaked. Like,
oh yeah,
right before
yeah.
the game even got announced. And people were like, there's no way this is real. But like everyone was buzzing about how great the character designs and everything looked. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like we just confirmed that Capcom did a good job. They leaked this themselves. They wanted to see our opinions. Oh my god. It's so funny. Yeah, free beta testers. Basically, or at least free public opinion. So
I'm not saying that. Okay, so I should revise. The leaks don't exist. There are genuine leaks that do happen, but I don't think like anything that becomes mainstream in a day, I really don't feel like is a leak. That's
no.
In order to go viral on the internet, I've seen the back end of a lot of that stuff that's like purposely supposed to go viral. It requires several programs running, several accounts on like across social media, across several computers to make that work. It's not like botting or anything. It's actually like, you know, just monitoring what does well and how do we engage with different people, and we can pay influencers to say certain things. But yeah, it's all about the fucking money, man. It's all about the fucking corpo suits
all about the money,
and their fucking bottom line.
Bottoms?
You rang?
Sorry.
Any around?
Keep going. Sorry.
Sorry, I heard the call of my people.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sound the horn of the bottom.
That's my horn!
My horn!
I smell them in the air.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, that's me. I'm sorry if there's carrot cake in the air.
I want it.
Listen, it'll happen as soon as there's a that FNAF movie comes to Netflix. You, me, and Sayu. I'll bring the carrot cake over. We'll have a good time.
Both my cats should be here by then, so you can meet them both.
Ooh, perfect.
Was my orange baby here when you came by?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if he was or not. It's been a mo.
God, it's been 2 months.
Yeah, that's not that long, but also very long.
It feels long. I think it just feels long because I'm now thinking back about like the journey to get to where I am now from like when I first met you, which was like, when did we first start talking? Like October?
Was it October? No, wait, when did I move down? Oh gosh, I don't remember.
I'm checking our first
Time
DMs.
is soup.
I'm checking our DMs.
Yeah,
is
you
soup.
look. I don't remember.
I'm scrolling up. I'm running.
While you look for that.
I'm breaching containment. There's no stopping me.
About like NDAs and like leaks and stuff like that. It just made me think of Pokemon, about when you're like not allowed to say stuff because that stuff. Because Pokemon first came out in it comes out in other countries first, and it came out on Teletoon in Canada, which is now Cartoon Network, which makes me a little angry because I'm like, no, I grew up on Teletoon. I want it to stay that way. I'm an 80 at heart. I don't want things to change. Yup.
Big mood, yeah.
That's where I watch 16, man.
Oh my god.
When you're growing up so fast, you gotta make the good times last.
But it came out in Canada, and I was on my stream with Joel, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna look at your like voice acting, like your anime VO wiki, that thing that exists. And he was like, oh, you're this and this, and you were Marnie in Pokemon. And I was like, what? Because someone had put it on my wiki.
Oh shit, that happened to me too.
Yeah, and
wait, before it was announced?
Before it came
out,
I couldn't say anything until it was out on Netflix. Until it comes out in the US, I can't say anything. So I was like, he's like, oh, you were this? I'm like,
wow.
No.
Of course not. What are you talking about?
I was like, that, no. He's like, but I could say it. I was like, what are you talking? I'm not, though. That sounds fake. I'm not, though.
Yeah, who's Marnie? What's a Pokemon?
What's a Pokemon?
What's a poker man?
Named Marnie.
Pikachu.
Pooping myself because I'm like, I can feel like this. I'm like, I can feel them about to like sleep dart me through my window.
Oh no.
Well, you know who I hope
doesn't
sleep dart us is Millie Mizurame with the ring. Welcome
Hello,
in,
Millie.
I like how you do yours. Do you wanna welcome in everybody? You?
Oh, everybody?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, hello, Millie Mizame. Welcome in. Welcome to the Cup of Dusk. We are here with Roy, who is a aspiring voice actor, honestly, like so close to being an actual voice actor that I don't think he should ever say that he's an aspiring voice actor or interested in voice acting at this point. Roy is a voice actor,
Thank you.
but along with 3 other voice actors who are interested, or rather, who are sharing our experiences, and we're just chatting at the moment. Hello, Millie. How are you?
Your voice is very nice, you.
Oh,
It's true. You have one of
See?
the most soothing voices
oh my
ever.
goodness! I'm gonna.
I want you to
I'll-
read me
I
a
need to duck out.
story.
No, stay here. Let us compliment you, damn it.
Roll the credits. I gotta leave.
Roll credits.
I gotta go cry in the bathroom for a few minutes.
I am actually curious about that. Like on a serious note, with the way that you use your voice. And I mean this coming from a purely interested point, because in the courses that I just took with foundations in voice acting, we had to do narration and commercials first before we got into the animation stuff. And the way that you speak, I feel like you have that, like that's the voice you have, is the narration and the commercial type voice.
Some people can just do commercials, and I
Mhm.
am not one of those people. I haven't booked a single commercial since I moved to LA.
Oh my
Not a
goodness.
single commercial.
But like, yeah, I like hear your voice and I just go, oh, yeah, okay, all right, well, tell me more. Like, what's going on? Yeah, okay.
I'll buy that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
buy. 12 months subscription for $69.99. Hell yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
The
supportive
auto renewal. Okay.
supportive mouse pad. Of course, yeah, I'm in. Yeah, of course. Say less. I'm on my way. Also, as
Yeah,
a
right.
radio host voice. Oh,
Mhm.
I think that's this was mentioned actually quite a while back in the stream, and I kind of took note of it in my head. But I feel like a big thing for a lot of people who, like I'm pretty open about this to my community, but I have like crippling what is called imposter syndrome, where it feels like nothing ever feels like, and we talked about this more or later on about how like validation is huge for any kind of content creator as well.
Mhm.
Is that it really takes a lot of outside voices to tell me that like, hey, you can do this thing, before I convince myself like, hey, maybe I can do this thing.
Yeah.
And a huge thing is just like other people going like, hey, you sound a little bit like this voice actor doing this thing. And like that kind of feedback really helps a lot of and so like if you ever hear somebody's voice and you're like, that sounds like somebody doing a thing, or like that sounds like a voice that could be on a radio or on a show, like definitely tell them, definitely like even if
Okay.
you don't know them, just like reach out and be like,
Yeah.
hey, you sound like you could be on this thing and I feel like you have a great voice, because like that does so much for like personal growth. And like it takes a lot of reinforcement before we can reach out and start doing things professionally, because it just like it takes a lot of confidence and a lot of reinforcement for us to reach out and be like, I can do this as a career. I guess there is somewhere I can go with this.
Yeah,
I'm really
maybe
glad that
this
you
is
said that
viable.
though. Like, because I was leaning into it, kind of worried, because I know for like artists and sometimes for VTubers as well, when you say, hey, you sound like this, or you remind me of this, depending on the way that you phrase it, it can be seen as offensive, because you don't want to be like that other person. You're yourself. So I'm always like, hey, I don't mean this offensively. It just reminds me in a good way of XYZ, and I think you sound great, and I love you, and don't be mad.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
so long as you're not telling someone they're like the discount version of
my
them,
God.
I
That's it.
think
Oh, yeah.
you're
As,
fine.
as the man who comes from everyone, you sound like every male baritone
No.
in the history of ever. It's how you say it.
For
It
sure,
Yeah.
is- it is
the
how you
delivery
phrase it.
really does matter.
Because somebody phrased it once, and it was this. This was at a convention, and I like started to feel really like in the pit of my stomach. I'm just like, oh my god, really? Why would you do this right now? But I was having a really good conversation with somebody, and they're like, yeah, it's just like there's a hierarchy, you know?
Oh,
It's
no.
like Troy, and then Matt, and then Roger, and then you, and eventually, like, and he like described it as like beating up a ladder. I'm like, bro, I work
Bro.
with
Wait, so he
these
put you as the
people.
bottom rung?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's beside the point. But, like,
Huh?
and I was just like, no, you don't want to phrase it like that. That's terrible. Tell me I sound like Matt in Titanfall. That's fine. I don't care. But like, be careful. You know,
Mhm.
I hate that.
Massage your words a little bit before you spit them
Massage
out.
is a good word for it.
I like
Dude,
that. I like
That
that.
just reminds me of a horror story from a con. I won't name the con because I don't want to badmouth the con, but these people came up and we had not been treated super well. I was there with Sai. We'd not been treated super well by this con, and we'd kind of been shoved to the very back of the con away from all the other voice actors.
Yeah.
And this family had come to mine and Sayu's panel, and it had gone well, and they were asking, like, at the panel, they seemed like really cool, and they were asking, like, oh, like, how'd you guys get your start? It's like, oh, well, we started in theater and this and that. We met online, blah, blah, blah. And they came to my table, and I was just chilling. Uh, my handler had already been not that great, and I'd have been a little bit slow at the con because I usually have sort of a steady trickle. I never have a line, and I'm honestly fine with that because as someone with a little bit of social anxiety, it's kind of nice to be like, all right, it's like a steady trickle, and then I don't
There's
get
a lot of pressure.
overwhelmed. Yeah, it takes the
I don't think
pressure
it's
off.
Scary. It's scary sometimes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was not prepped when I did SAC anime. I was like, I've never had a line before, and this is overwhelming, and it's a lot.
Well, it's like,
But-
being on stage is one thing, but
Mhm.
having it, because when you're on stage, you can be, another character or whatever. You have that mask to hide behind. But if
Yeah.
you're directly interacting, shaking hands, like less than 5 feet from people, like for 3 or 4 hours consistently, one after the other, it does get a little tiring, But at the end of the day, no matter who you are, you're not gonna go out and party or anything after that. Like, it's bedtime.
It's so much. But like this family came up and they kind of started insulting me to my face.
What?
Aw.
Because
Thank you.
they're like, oh,
Where are they?
well, I've never heard of you before. And
Mm.
I can't remember how. I was like, well, like you just might not have seen the shows that I'm in. I'm in a good number of shows and I'm really proud of that. Like I'm trying to like really keep up like the, I'm really proud of myself because I
Yeah,
am.
that's a chocolate
And they're
latte.
like, well, and then they point to my husband sitting next to me and they're like, well, his resume's like this. And they make like a large motion with their arms, and yours is like this, and they make it like really tiny. It's like, but you'll get there someday. And I'm
No.
like, are you
Oh,
freaking
well.
kidding me? And then they proceed to ask me how to get into voiceover.
Oh,
And
there
I
you go.
was
Get
so-
It's the
fucked.
trifecta.
Right?
It's the
I was like,
trifecta.
no.
Oh my god. Go get bent. Damn. Holy
Get
shit.
so bent. I'm like,
Ugh.
that's so if you
Frustrates me.
that is how not to ask people how to get into VO. Don't insult them and then
Dude,
proceed
like-
to ask them.
Oh, for
Next,
sure.
I'm like in front of my salad, like right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
My salad?
You got the Karen bingo. That's
Yeah, for sure. It's honestly even as for like a just a voice acting enjoyer for a long time, not even pursuing it. Anytime I went to a voice acting panel and I heard people be like, well, like how do you get into voice acting? And I hate that question so much.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why there's I want to be a voiceactor.com.
Yes, there is.
Yes, that is.
Thank you,
real-
D. Bradley Baker, for giving me a default to just give to people and not have to explain this shit every time.
Oh my
It is-
goodness.
I love
is the
him.
best.
It's so great.
If you haven't, please go to iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. It is a repository for all knowledge about how to get into voice acting.
Absolutely.
And it is invaluable. It is exhaustive. It is up to date. He fucking updates it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like him
It's
making
so
it.
good.
Yeah, him making it is one thing where it's just like cool, awesome, this wonderful piece of like resource. But every like 2 weeks, he like gets on and puts up something new. Tries to find a piece of things. I think one of the most recent updates that he had was something on AI. And
Whoa.
what's being done to like to address that.
Mhm.
But yeah, super good.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Nate gives us a little bit of a compliment here, so I appreciate it, Nate.
Aw.
I think you all are charismatic and expressive with your controlled mastery of your crafts. It shows in your interactions and the effort that showcases how much time you guys put into mastering your craft. TLDR, keep it up. Y'all are awesome.
Thanks.
I love
Aw.
Nate.
I
My
love Nate
new
too.
No, you're Nate. You're awesome. Where you got you?
You get back here,
I need to go-
Stinky.
And to go cry in the bathroom
No,
for
you
a bit.
come back,
Wait,
you
hold
back.
on.
Oh, no.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
They changed their voice.
No, you.
Oh, no.
Oh.
You get back here.
Cute.
I'll serve you coffee and all the carrot cake you can eat.
Oh, carrot cake!
Let's
I love
go.
carrot cake.
I don't think I've moved from this spot since we started.
That's how you know it's
Listen, I
going.
will be the little fae on your
Oh, wait,
shoulder
here.
telling
You know
you
what?
that you're amazing
Time
and
for
that
some
I love
shenanigans.
you.
Oh.
Perfect. It's just what we needed.
oh, perfect. That's awesome. Faye, for free?
For free.
Shenanigans.
As many people questioned me like yesterday, me posting feet for free. Apparently, I didn't.
I have house shoes. Yeah.
That's actually so surprising to me. I like when you flipped over, I was like, wait,
Oh, those look so comfy.
They do
they're
look
so
comfy.
They are
comfortable.
comfy.
Yeah.
I want
They do
to
look very
put little
comfortable.
antenna on them and make them snails.
Oh,
We're not
no.
selling shit. This is for free,
Yeah,
chat.
this is for free. It's absolutely
Yeah,
for free.
y'all better appreciate.
Getting
Get
a little
sniffing, everybody.
sniffy.
I'm up. Right.
Get busy, snapper.
Yeah.
Put the dogs away.
Oh.
Oh, you got very close to the camera.
Oh,
Hey, I'm not complaining. We all appreciate you being here. It's always really funny though, with the like learning how to voice act, because I think some of the early conversations I had with Sylla about it, I was like, I don't mean to be like that, you know, that guy. I was just like, can you just recommend me some like take this class.
Which made, I think I told you when we were talking, I was like, that made me so happy. And I think I told you, I was like, it's so refreshing that you're asking for classes.
yeah. And not
Because
just
like,
asking for a like some
Yeah.
golden key.
No,
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
not.
like
Yeah.
instead of asking to have me just recommend you to somewhere, I had someone be like, hey, can you recommend me to Pokemon? I was like, no.
To
No.
Pokemon.
No.
Hey,
Mr.
can you-
Mr.
John Pokemon.
John
Yeah.
Pokemon. Yeah.
Same
Oh,
for
we're all coming
yourself.
to the same conclusion,
Yes!
Mr. John Pokemon. Let's go.
I love it.
This is. I love the
I was
office
like-
of Mr. John Pokemon.
I love that guy. Yeah.
like John
Let me
Twitch,
pick up
yeah.
the phone, be like, hello, Pokemon, all of Pokemon. Yes, please use this person. It's so refreshing to have someone like you, Roy, who's so like ready to learn and excited to learn and do different things, and you're willing to try. Like, you were such a joy. I'm gonna gush at you because
No, don't.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to be gushing for you guys.
no, get absolutely bent. I'm about to gush at you.
I'm used to being bent. Trust me.
Well, we're gonna bend you further, baby.
Ha! Anyway,
Okay, Claude, cover your antenna.
dude, listen. Phew, sheesh. Do it. Get supported, nerd. Listen.
Yeah, get
They-
absolutely supported.
They're in the process of supporting me. Apparently. Go ahead, Sylla.
Mhm.
Say what you're gonna say. Hold on. I'm
No.
ready. I'm
You
ready.
were such a delight to direct. Like both times that we directed you, because like you came over and we directed your demo from my treehouse studio, and you were such a delight because you, especially for being a newer actor, you take direction so effing well, dude. And you were so willing to play and try different things. And when I would paint a picture for you for the different demo spots, you took it on like a champ, and your reads were actually different and diverse. And that's something that a lot of newer actors, I remember this in like my young acting journey, where it's sometimes hard if someone asks for an ABC take. And
Mhm.
sometimes the ABCs sound really similar. I was listening back to your takes when I was picking them out to send to our mix engineer, and I was like, all of these are distinct. You made different choices. And like for a newer actor, you do really good battle reacts. I need like really, really good.
Hey, this guy plays
Like-
JRPGs.
I do.
This guy plays JRPGs.
Wait, what was there was one that you were like, have you done JRPG work before?
No, I remember I was like, bruh. Are you sure that you haven't done this? Are you sure you're new? Because
It's D&D.
you, yeah, exactly.
He's got
That's
Fire
like
Emblems.
D&D has made me a better actor, and I think I've talked about this with other actors at like Crunchyroll and other things, where it's like D&D is just an improv exercise, and when you really get to like play as a character, you learn so much about just on the fly character choices, which is super important, and being specific in those choices. And you are nailing that. And I'm so effing proud of you.
I'm gonna cry.
Good.
Aw.
Good. Cry, bunny boy.
No!
I'm proud of you.
I can't
Get in the
cry.
bathroom, Roy.
I gotta
The
go.
Lebanon's
I gotta
stinky.
go. I gotta go.
Nah, you can't go anywhere without me.
Fine.
Come back. I need my coffee.
Yeah, your coffee, huh?
Yeah, I need
I've
my
had
coffee.
my cup of
Oh,
coffee this
okay.
whole time.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
you
have.
have.
You've been sipping on that.
Yeah.
It's true. But no, it has genuinely been very eye-opening. I will say, like, I did go back and check our DMs, and it was November when we first started
Oh my
talking.
gosh. Yeah,
Wow.
that makes sense.
And even from the first like session that you and I had, and then starting classes, and then working with Richard, and then coming back and working with you, and then taking more classes, and now that I have a demo reel, I've listened to it a couple times and I'm just like, oh, that was me. That was me.
Yeah, when
So
something is
kind.
like when something is mixed really well and like it's sometimes it's surreal to hear your voice when it's like done, when everything's all
Mhm.
baked. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Just there.
Yeah.
Very nice. You sound great, by the way, man.
Thank you. I really do
You've said it
appreciate
several
that.
times, but yeah,
Thank
of
you.
course.
I'm excited to join all three of you in the professional field as soon as I can start applying for roles, which will be after this week, likely.
Let's go.
Every role is going to be mine.
Proud.
Sorry, something got stuck in my throat there. I don't know. I wish you nothing but this. Thank you, Manga Man. Oh, funny enough, here's another funny story. So when I started working with Sylla, I immediately admitted something, and I finally started correcting this, and I made a small Twitter thread about it. I genuinely took like a really long break from anime because I just got really busy with like content creation. And Sylla and I were talking, and I was like, yeah, I haven't really watched anime in like 5 or 6 years. So I wasn't watching like the modern stuff. And Sylla was like yelling at me, how are you gonna be an anime voice actor or just a voice actor in general if you don't hear like modern voice acting?
Like, you gotta listen to the new-ish, boy. You don't just have to listen to like anime, because
Yeah, dude.
anime
People get a
voice
bad
acting,
impression.
video game voice acting, and like animation voice acting, they're all very
They're all
different.
Yes.
They're all different beasts. But yeah, no, I gave you a hard time in a loving way, but I
I
definitely gave you a
know.
hard time. I was like, you're listening to this old stuff and you're
Yeah.
not gonna listen to like what the new
All
like
right, to be fair, I just finished Demon Slayer season 1 today.
oh, it's so good.
I did see you asking for recommendations on Twitter. I forgot
Yep.
to reply to it. Yeah, you were looking for like good dub recommendations.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, just people's favorite ones.
Yeah.
I'm going to, as a palate cleanser when things get too dark, because it is a comfort anime, I'm going to rewatch Skate the Infinity.
Oh,
Let's
let's go.
go.
I
I'm
fucking
in
love
that.
Skate.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
Oh, there you
It's
go.
so
We can have a
good.
watch party.
It's so good. I need to rewatch Skate. I need to rewatch Beastars. You should keep watching Demon Slayer because I'm in Demon Slayer now.
I saw
Wait,
it.
are
I'm
you?
so proud of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hype as fuck, boys.
Wait,
Had to
for-
keep that a secret for like 6 months.
For season 3 or for before that?
Season 3, yeah. I don't know anything about it.
Oh.
Disclaimer, I have no idea, but I can tell you guys that I voiced Upper Moon 1,
I'm
Kokoshibo.
so proud
Yo,
of
that is dope.
you.
I can tell all my
That's
friends.
not
go.
why.
Yeah,
That is exciting.
I'm excited. Alpha, if you follow me on my Twitter, Alpha didn't say any shit about it because he's not. It's
No,
chill.
of course
But,
not.
Yeah, so yeah, totally.
course,
I'm
yeah.
super stoked.
No, that's
I-
exciting.
super
I
excited.
have a list. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I do
If
have
you
a
need
list.
a comfort anime, something that both Alpha and I like, is Given. You should
on
definitely
there.
watch that
Oh,
show.
So-
how is
did it?
given a comfort?
I think I don't
It
know.
hurts me so
I don't know, there's some
deeply.
cool comfort stuff.
I think it's just not necessarily comfort, but like one of those like low key. It'll make you cry, but
Yeah.
it's
A good
It-
it's
cry.
that good kind of
The
emotion.
It has
movie will make
like
you
the
cry.
promise of aftercare after, like
Yeah.
you know that it'll give good aftercare, and so you like suffer through it, and you do get aftercare after, and you're like, yeah,
love that.
Yeah, like Banana
I feel
Fish.
good. Oh yeah,
I haven't
that's true.
seen
I love banana
Fish.
fish.
Honestly,
Oh.
and I'm like, it's not just because I'm in it, but I call it the weighted blanket of anime. If you want a cute comfort show, The Helpful Fox Senko-san
Oh,
is
that is, yeah.
such a comfort show. It is
A weighted
literally
blanket.
that's what the show is about. It's about a guy who is overworked. So a kitsune fox spirit is sent down to him to make his life easier and to help
Aw.
him through his tough times. And it's really cute and it's a comedy, but it's like really touching, but just soft and
May
not
God
too
touch your soul
sad.
to
It's
heal
just
you and your
warm.
mental friends.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much for the 300 bits. I'm sure we're all healed perfectly fine with good
you,
comfort
yeah.
anime.
Thank you,
Akudama
banana.
Drive is another good suggestion. I don't. Have you,
You said
been suggested
Akudama
that
Drive,
yet?
right?
Oh, Akudama Drive, yeah.
I'll throw that
Akudama
on there right
Drive.
there. Okay.
It's basically Suicide Squad, but with anime characters.
I'm excited.
Hell
And
yeah.
a lot. It's like Cyberpunk City. That's why I have this metal arm is the character that is inspired by it is Courier. Courier is the character I voice in Akudama
Mm.
Drive, and he has a metal arm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I have the list. Do you guys want to hear the list that I have so
Yes.
far?
Yeah, lay it on.
Hell yeah.
So I've got Given. I've got Demon
Yep.
Slayer. I've got Yuri on Ice. I've got Goblin Slayer. I've got K-Stiddy of Vanitas. I've got Skate. I've got Beastars. I've got Tokyo Revengers. I've got Revenger. Vinland Saga. Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
New Trigun Stampede, because
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm so happy Johnny is back. Makes me so happy.
I am too.
I'm not a big Gundam person, but people recommended me Iron Blooded Orphans, specifically for the
that's really
dub.
good.
Mm-hmm.
If you
I never watched the
if you
dub for
like-
it, but it was good.
If you like mech stuff that's not Gundam, 86 is fantastic.
I'm okay with Gundam. I just don't have a lot of exposure to it, except for G Gundam and the first like OG Gundam movie that tells the series, which was really not good. It was really boring. I almost fell asleep.
Oh no.
86 is the whole like child soldier arc.
I'll definitely watch that at some point. I've got Mob Psycho 100. Well, what is that?
I love Mob Psycho. It's
Oh, there
very
you go.
good. It's so good. It
A
feels like a
noise.
warm hug of an anime. It's very good.
Akudama's now on there. People recommended me Spy Family.
I love Spy Family
Spy Family's
so
great.
much.
The-
If you like Spy Family, heckin' Buddy Daddies is
I was gonna say-
so good.
Buddy Daddy's is
Love
going
that
on
show.
there.
My friend calls it Yaoi Buddies or
Yes!
Yaoi Daddy. Yaoi X Family. That's what they call it.
Yeah, X Family. I love
Yeah.
it. This might be my biggest undertaking because I kind of swore this off because I read the manga and I did not like the finale of the manga. So I've kind of just been grouchy pants every time people talk about it, and that's Attack on Titan.
Oh man.
I
Yeah,
don't like the way that the manga ends. But
Hey.
like, so many people are like, watch the Attack on Titan dub, watch the Attack on Titan dub, watch the Attack. And I'm like,
It is I can
guess-
assure you, it is done with love.
I'm sure.
And they consult the manga several times whenever they're writing the scripts and everything. And they make sure that it's incredibly accurate.
Oh, I'm sure. Megalobox was also recommended. Kaguya Love is War. Ranking of Kings. Bofuri. And the last one, which I'm very surprised not a bajillion people recommended me because of who voices one of the main characters, My Dress Up Darling. I only had one person recommend it, and I was like, oh, okay, I see who's the Monarch fan here.
I haven't watched it yet, but it looks really fun.
Yeah.
I just don't watch a lot of anime unless people sit me. But I'm just bad at watching things in general.
I feel you.
Oh,
Unless
yeah,
people
I feel
sit
you,
me
yeah.
down to watch a show, I don't watch it. And I've kind of moved away from watching a lot of anime these days, especially like working in it so much. I've fallen into watching a lot more live action these days.
Oh, yo.
I don't watch a whole lot of anime.
It's a lot of that like eggs in the basket thing. I feel like watching things and consuming media has taken up less of my schedule now that
Yep.
I'm spending so much time making
Yeah.
content.
Yeah.
Thinking of ways to, and like I sometimes do kind of kick myself in the ass and go like, hey, like watching anime and other media actually really helps you inspire you to make better content. But I
Yep.
just, it's the eggs
You
in the
get new
basket thing all
ideas
over
and things
again.
like that. Everything I keep saying, and some people get mad at me for it, but everything is derivative. Nothing is it's truly original at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. mhm.
I did have
Whatever your
somebody
idea
call me
Agreed.
Costco Taka, so.
Well, yeah, I
Well,
saw
oh,
that.
hello. Well,
Hey, Costco's great.
That's what
Yeah, I
everybody in
do
the
love
comments were.
Costco.
They were like, I'm confused. Is Costco a bad thing? And I was like, I was just as confused. Trust me.
I
yeah,
love
250
Costco.
glizzies. Let's
I like
go.
Costco.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Can I get
They
free
never-
samples of cheese?
Absolutely. I got you.
Only one
Hell yeah.
Yo.
until the shift changes, and then you can get another one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Ooh.
baby.
Exactly.
Or if you put on a different hat or a jacket and they don't know who you are. And,
True.
That's true.
Yo, I see you. I see you with the strats, the tech,
My Costco tech.
the Costco tech.
Costco life hacks.
Oh my goodness gracious. Now we did talk about anime in that sense. Have any of you been able to work on games, or maybe have wanted to work on games, or because like obviously I've been able to talk to all of you about anime projects or VTubing related projects, like you with VShojo Mythos and various other VTuber lore related stuff, because I'm fairly certain I've heard you in other ones. But what about games? Have you guys done games? I know you, Alpha. I know you're gonna say. But like, I'm curious because you guys all mentioned how different it is. I'm curious what that difference is or what the different feel to it is.
They still got their starting games too. Honey Pop is a game.
True.
Yeah, I guess I'll start
Honey
us
Pop
off.
is a game?
Honey
It
Pop is a game.
is. It's.
I
Listen,
I don't really know what Honey Pop is, so
It's bejeweled with boobs. It's
It's
bejeweled.
baboo.
I gotta go.
It
I'll be
really
right
is the
back.
best video. Yeah.
Listen, I beat the alpha of that game. I freaking love Honey Pop. It's so fun.
Oh my
It's
God.
so fun, actually. Yeah.
It's really fun. But recording for games versus like recording for anime or like even cartoons, it's a different beast because recording for Honey Pop, I recorded everything as well as Honeycam Studio. I recorded everything just by myself. So essentially everything for those scripts, I guess, God, it's been a long time. It's been almost 10 years since I did that game. Oh my God.
Oof.
Hot damn.
So you know what? I'll talk more about Gunvolt 3 because that's more fresh in my memory.
Hey.
So
Yeah.
I was Prado in Gunvolt 3. I love her. She's my queen. I love her because she's based on Takarazuka like theater, which is my favorite.
I love them.
I love Takarazuka. so
It's like my
much.
dream to see them live.
Oh my God, I would die, especially after Prado. I'm like, I need to.
Yeah, their
I'm
tickets
okay.
are so hard to get
Oh
for
my
the good shows, but it's like, oh, I just.
I
Anyway, sorry.
watched so much Takarazuka in like prep because I already liked it, but then I watched so much in prep. Sorry. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. Tangent. Anyway, Gunvolt is delightful. So pretty much with Gunvolt, they would give us what scenes, and they would give us like essentially like Excel spreadsheets of like here's all the lines in these specific scenes that you're in. And we would do all of the dialogue first. So it's like, here's this scene. It's broken down by character, like how the dialogue's going to be paced. So it's like, Lord Zed is going to say something, and then Prado's going to
Lord
respond,
Zed.
and then another person's going to say this. You'll have like the character name, the Japanese dialogue, the translation, and then like what's happening in the scene. And you just go down, you do all the dialogue, you'll give like an ABC take, they'll maybe give you some direction to change it, ask for a little bit faster, because sometimes in games, especially when you're doing like battle dialogue, you only have a certain amount of time to say certain like attack calls.
Yeah.
So you'll do all the dialogue, which you have a little bit more wiggle room with, especially with like Gunvolt, because you can just like hit A to move on to the next line. So it doesn't matter too
Now
much
serving
how much
sure.
time you spend.
special. A raid.
But what does matter is how much time Sad Bunny
Yeah,
Art spends with
yeah.
us. Welcome in, Raiders!
Hi, Raiders.
Welcome in, everyone. I'm Roy. I'm a bunny barista VTuber specializing in voice acting and asking this cafe cut the cup of desk. We're
He really does this.
What? Huh? What did you say? Welcome in, everyone. I'm Roy. I'm a bunny barista VTuber specializing in voice acting and asking this cafe cut the cup of desk. We're bringing various VTubers around the individual improv sketch comedy combined with the world. More importantly, I'm joined by three amazing voice actors today. We're going to do it in reverse. It's Alpha Aniki. It's Sylla Aria.
Hi!
And Hiiragi Yuu.
Hello!
Oh my god, I love that.
You're so cute.
I have to pull out my head voice next time. Next time we get a raid, I'll pull out the head voice.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to like audition for a what you know those like prescription
Auctioneers.
commercials.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like have you tried I don't know, like have you tried sertraline? Ask your doctor about sertraline. Side effects may include.
Have you tried VTubing? Ask
Yeah,
your doctor
oh,
about
no.
VTubing today.
You
Side effects may include cringe.
Side effects may include cringe.
Yeah.
What's interesting about the word cringe is that is the only word that like evokes itself.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Right?
It's very you pronounce it and you like you get into that facial expression.
Oh yeah.
Cringe. Right? That's why I have a friend, Aaron or Frozen Frost. He's an up and coming VTuber. He's delightful. You should go follow him. He's a cute cat boy.
Aw.
Shameless plug for my homie. But he's like, I hate the word because it evokes itself.
It does.
And I hate it.
It
Is
really
cringe the new
does.
moist?
Oh, do you guys
I
mind
guess.
holding down the fort for a second? I hear something. I want to check
Oh,
on it and
hell
make sure
yeah.
nothing's
Check it out.
happening.
Yeah,
Check it
that's
out.
fair.
I'll
Yeah,
be right
that's fine.
back. I'll be right back.
Stay safe. Don't
Yeah,
die.
don't
Well,
get hurt.
yeah. I'll continue the video game thing once we're. Oh my god! Sorry, you blinked out of existence
I
for a
know.
minute,
I'm
Alpha.
back. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I was so scared without you.
I see the bunny ears back there. He's back there. I know he is.
You don't see anything.
No, suspend your disbelief, just like stage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in front of it. Get it off stage or get in front of it.
Here. I'll just toes. We'll just
They're
toe
gone.
show.
Yo, I'm gonna get big for y'all.
Wah! Monster Sylla. Wah!
Oh my god.
Does this scare you? Does this scare you? No, it shouldn't. These poor people's evenings are being ruined. Absolutely ruined by Big Alpha and Big Sylla. And Big You.
I was slightly transparent because of a green screen, but that's okay. We don't care about that.
Nah.
Hey, check this out. Let me show you something cool.
What's that? Oh my god.
Isn't that crazy? Look at him go. He can just keep going.
I think
Get him, buddy,
eventually,
go,
when you make like a
go.
eventually when you make like
go,
a snail plushie, you should make like a detachable like
A glizzy
Cheeto.
with like a Velcro on it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly
Oh my god,
it.
that'd be amazing.
Okay, stop. You're gonna throw up.
No.
Don't throw up.
How dare you tell him
Going,
what to
little
do?
guy, keep
You
You're
can
going.
not
take
his
one out.
mom.
Brandish your glizzy. You may, but don't. Do not consume. He's the glizzy gobbler. He's the glizzy gobbler, Chad.
What is happening?
Oh, get back into position, everyone.
Huh? Why are there so many sexy people on screen?
I don't
Huh?
know what you're talking about. It's hi. What's up?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I-
It's fine.
I
What is
saw
my fine Sunday? Monday. Sorry, shit.
It's fine.
I saw
Didn't do
3
anything
sexy people
morally
close up to the
wrong.
camera. What are you talking about?
What?
I'll check back the tapes. Camera was rolling.
You
We
can't
didn't do
prove
anything.
anything.
I've got the
We didn't do
tapes!
anything against like the Geneva Convention. Like we didn't do
I just-
anything
Morally
morally incorrect.
I guess there weren't any more sex vampires or anything like
I
that.
showed them the throat goat.
Ah, wait, but that's
Your
Glizzy
secret
throat
technique.
goat.
Yeah.
the glizzy
Glizzy god.
Throw go no
glizzy
jutsu.
That's my favorite jutsu. It's the first one I learned. So what did I walk in on? What is going on now?
Who knows, man?
Absolutely
I was just
nothing.
waiting to finish my explanation
Oh,
for you,
yes,
and we were
please.
just
Right,
vibing.
right.
And so
Please
we
finish your
did that.
explanation for you.
Yeah.
Let's say. So you record all of your dialogue. They'll give you some feedback, and usually, for Gunvolt, we recorded everything remote. So I would record like a backup on my end, and they would record on their end as well. And then you would come in for all of the my goodness, the battle dialogue, which is some of my favorite stuff to record. I love it.
Yes,
I
it is
love
fun.
doing battle reacts. That is my favorite. Battle chatter is some of my favorite stuff. I love doing attack calls in like, especially in
Like
a
a
Gunvolt
JRPG?
game,
Like,
like
yeah.
JRPG
Oh,
was
Gale!
my dream. That was my dream. That's all I ever wanted to do. I wanted to have a thing, and getting to Waltz of Twin Elements was my favorite thing I've ever done in my fucking life.
can
That's
I
so
be
cool.
honest?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was that kid that would be like playing pretend outside, and I would be like screaming stuff, gusts of wind dance, like, you know.
I was
I did-
absolutely doing
I did
that.
that. I was that kid too. I did
Yes!
Raditz's moveset was in Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 was entirely based on days of the week.
Yep.
So
Ah.
Saturday
would
Crush!
yeah, exactly. Royus, what's good?
Oh yeah.
Double
oh, yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah!
Let's go.
We got some Tails moves. Demon Fang, Sonic Thrust.
It's so good. I
Throat
love
goat.
Throat goat. Throat goat.
Throat goat.
Yell a lot outside first steps. I mean, yeah, but you got to go back in time and do it as a kid. That way you have the most impeccable screaming vocal cords you can possibly have.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, okay, but please do continue. I 100% agree. Like,
No.
that's always really fun.
That's the best part, but essentially, especially with the battle callouts, not so much with like the in-game like dialogue, but with the battle callouts, I remember for Gunvolt specifically, there was a little time code. It's like you have this much time for each like line.
Sure.
Like we need a short like you're attacking. Like we need a short attack, a mid, medium attack, and then like a longer attack. But you have this amount of time. So like a short is like 0.1 second, and like a long one is like this long. And here's like you're dying, so we need like a quick death, a medium death, and then like a longer death.
A quick death. Yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think JRPG dubs sound strange because the way that people say words in like the combat stuff, because it has to be conformed to that time, right? So having to say something that doesn't have a direct translation in Japanese to English, having to say something that is like a full sentence in English but is like 2 syllables in Japanese, and that has to happen. Sometimes you can get away with like overflowing it and then having it not matter because like the animation takes forever and it doesn't matter, or like nobody's looking at their mouth anyway, so it's fine. But a lot of the time you'll have to squeeze shit in, and they will unnaturally have to sometimes squeeze it, and they'll use like they'll time stretch it. They'll make sure that it is the exact time they need, but it's you saying whatever it is. That's if you're not like really good at your job. You can like, you know, listen to it. It's called echo repeat. You listen to it being played, and then you go back and do it as soon as it's done.
It's funny you say that though, because like we were just talking about Tales games, and I had to look it up. Like what you're talking about, I learned about specifically because of Tales of Arise. Because there were so many attacks that just don't match up with the name. And I'm like, they just didn't have enough time. They literally just didn't have enough time to say it.
Production, localization specifically, is way more chaotic than you can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're not allowed to change it. I know that's a thing.
No.
And sometimes it's like, you have to, it's this attack name. It's like, it's not going to fit. You need to make it fit.
Yeah.
Make it fit. Like, I mean, if you're not and a lot of the time, like, you're not the director. The director isn't the director. You know, the director doesn't decide, not in like the traditional theatrical sense. The director does not decide like the vision for the project, right? The director is there to facilitate, to be another brain that isn't the engineer telling the actor how to sound. And a lot of the time. And it's directing fulfills a very mechanical role rather than like a creative one, as much as a lot of directors that I know are like, I'm gonna fuck what they say, I'm gonna try so damn hard to push and a lot of the directors that I know are just like, you know, they go against the grain in a good way to get their creative ideas across. And that goes a long way with the fans, because then when the product comes out, they realize, oh, we sold better in North America, and that director was the reason we sold better in North America, or these actors that the director found were the reason that we did better in North America, so we'll go with them next time. It is a clusterfuck. Rarely do I have any idea what's going on unless there's something in my email inbox, or I see it on Twitter.
That's why I love
it's really interesting because I feel like, especially like when I play a lot of localized games and visual novels on my streams, and people always have this. I think that people who are more so laymen to the industry have this impression that localization efforts are a lot more homogenous than they actually are.
Oh yeah.
And that's a really interesting like thing that separates the consumers from the people who are a little bit more versed on like how the production is that unfortunately you have this impression that everything is super official, super homogenous, when really a lot of departments are actually super separate from each other, and they don't get a lot of communication between each other. And when you see things that feel like they don't quite, like the puzzle pieces don't fit together, that's not something you should like. I guess I don't know how to describe it in like eloquently, but as a person who knows the inner workings, I can see that people are kind of blaming it on the actors. They're kind of like, oh, the actor didn't read the script well enough. They didn't read the previous scene. They didn't read the scene coming up afterwards. And I'm like, no, I don't think you understand like that recording sessions sometimes are very far apart from each other. They may be done in different locations. And also at the same time, like you may have a director who isn't directly related to that particular scene and the overall overarching like function of this scene. They are just there to just direct you in terms of you as an actor, but not quite the entirety of the game. And that's really interesting to see.
Yeah, they come in piecemeal. Sometimes there's 3-4 directors on a project just because they need it done in a certain turnover time.
Yeah.
And I've seen Juilliard trained actors be directed into abysmal performances. Abysmal performances. And I'm not going to name any examples, but like, you know, you know for a fact that these people have spent their entire life learning how to act and being empathetic and passing many tests to demonstrate that. And you just got to be like, okay, you were directed into that bad performance. The director wouldn't go on with the day until you did what they asked you to. You know, I know you had another idea, but I know that the director wasn't in for it. So, but yeah, there's a lot of it was very strange to me coming out here about how mechanical the director's seat was when was expected to be when people who were like trained directors who've directed stage shows and things like that want to just try and put like a creative spin on it. A lot of the time they're listening to producers in the same booth or something like that, you know, that are feeding them direction.
Yeah.
And then the director's just like, okay, so the producer wants to, or like, okay. Or they're like, I'm going to do something with this. I'm not going to be a fucking like ship computer and just repeat everything you say. I'm just going to be like, I'll use my directorial knowledge to kind of like put it in my own words and make it so that you can understand. And like, I really appreciate it when that sort of stuff happens.
The directing stuff is always really interesting too. One of the stories I always remember listening to is Mary Elizabeth McGlynn was talking about how she directed for Cowboy Bebop. And it was her first time directing, like in voiceover, and just hearing her talk about that, because I think they did an interview with her for Critical Role, and they were just talking about that process, and that I think that was one of the points where I was like, oh, like I as a casual viewer, as a casual just game and anime and voiceover enjoyer at the time, I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was this nuanced, and it is way more deep than a lot of people realize.
Yeah. The first time I got like a director to do my first demo reel was like, it was insane because I realized, I think like in one, how long, it was like a 60-minute session. I realized how valuable the input of a director is because
you put blinders on the actor.
It's insane. Like I think that's the thing that we talked about previously as well, is when people reach out and like that's what Sylla was talking about when Roy reached out and was like, can I get some more direction and lessons, is that like you put yourself in a position where you need to be humbled and you need to be receiving direction from others. And that's what a lot of us need. Because a lot of amateurs come into the scene and they feel like, hey, I sound similar enough to this existing voice actor that I feel like I can do the exact same thing as them. But what they don't realize is that they are reacting to the emotions in the scene. They are acting. They're actors. You know, they're doing the acting part of voice acting. And that's what you need training on. That's what you need like lessons on. And that's a really important thing for a lot of people. If you're one of those people out there going like, hey, I sound similar enough to this voice actor that I feel like I can do a thing, then the thing that you want to pursue next is not more roles or like to be referred into roles, but to receive the training to hone your skill into becoming one of these people who can have like a voice that you can manipulate, a voice that you can put emotion into, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was I think that the acting is the most important part and not the voice. Is definitely something I learned.
You can have a voice that you can like you can imitate another voice actor, you can sound like another voice actor, but you cannot imitate the skill of putting your emotions into a role and feeling the way that they do and acting it out. And the most importantly, I think the most important part, I met with Chris Sabat once, who was like such a incredibly educational experience for me, was that like you as a voice actor, because they can't see you physically emoting, they need to see all the things that you are expressing through your voice.
Nuances.
It's an insane amount of skill that you need to hone yourself. And so just because you sound like another voice actor doesn't mean that you can do whatever they're doing. You need to hone your skill into being an actor as well, and then focusing that into the microphone so that the people who can't see your body language can still hear exactly what you're feeling and what you're acting out.
I love that.
Yeah, I experienced that on Dying Light because Aiden is never seen. There is never a third person shot of him unless it is, you know, ending credits or opening credits, right? And because of that, every line I had to make sure that it had enough nuances in it so that people could see what my face would look like when I said that, you know, in their own head, right? Because it's a first-person action RPG. And that, I think, was the biggest struggle because, you know, you want to do these grounded filmic reads, right? You want to do these, like, real, like, gritty, like, mocap reads, right? But sometimes, it does work a lot of the time, but sometimes you have to emote more because if you do those grounded reads, everything gets lost in communication and in translation, because
Mhm.
you need to deliver a lot of things about gaming that people don't understand. And not from a place of ignorance or anything, but it's just you don't know the industry. It takes a lot to be able to. Our job is to communicate information to the player, and from a mechanical like game development standpoint. I am a tool. I realized this a lot again in Dying Light 2 when I was going down all these scripts. I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally just okay. Now what? Okay, we do this and then we go there. Good, I'm on it. That's it. That was like 90% of the quest dialogue was like you accepting quests is Aiden talking back and forth with somebody who's delivering you and vomiting information. I prompt NPCs to talk. That is my job as a player character, and putting like emotions and things on that. Back when we got the scripts like years ago for the first draft of the story, the Aiden wasn't called Aiden. His name was Local Player. Because
very characteristic.
Exactly. So he started as this, just through line. This is a facsimile of the person playing the game. This has to be them. So you have to make sure that it's really nuanced. It's very subtle, and I didn't realize how hard it was to be consistent with that. Like 3 days a week, 4 hours a day, and then go and do other work.
Oh, that sounds so hard. Just switching into another character and then coming back and remembering what you had to do.
That's
before.
why a lot of my characters sound the same. I cheated the system.
Well, it was kind of like what we were saying before, that the acting and the character is more important than the voice.
Yeah.
And forgive me for making this comparison, but I know a lot of people give Matt Mercer flack for it as well, because 99% of the time you hear him in games or in anime, it's the Matt Mercer voice.
I don't know this as a fact, but I heard Ganondorf in the Zelda trailer, and I don't know this as a fact, but I'm like, oh fuck, that's Matt.
It sounds like him.
Yeah.
It sounds like him.
I got a text from Sai. I was building a cat tree. He's like, "Hey baby, go. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's that."
Ganondorf.
And I heard it. I was like, he's like, it's either Matt or Ray, and I can't tell. But you're.
Oh, it's not Ray.
I heard it. I was like, no, that's not Ray, because when Matt, because I've listened to way too much Critical Role.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. Matt has a certain texture to his voice when he goes down into like his lower register like that. I've heard it. Yeah, I've heard him enough out. The orc zone.
He goes into the orc zone.
It was the orc zone. I have to send you a meme. I just remembered. Anyway. But I was like, no, that is absolutely, and I'm like, it's not, confirmed, so like not absolutely, but it's like I'm 99.99% sure that is a Mercer.
It sounds like it, but it's funny how like many people will like, I see and have friends that will like flack on him for being like, oh, it's the Matt Mercer, it doesn't sound like he's trying, and I'm like, yes he is. Like, listen to the acting, like forget about the voice for a second, like he's acting his ass off. And I think a lot of casual people, or the layman's audience, as you would call it, they forget that, or they miss that.
I think it's just like it's also a it's one of those like blessings and a curse thing where you get cast enough as an actor, where like it happens to Hollywood actors too, where it's like, oh, you see this actor being typecast into a certain role, where you kind of want to zoom out and say like, are they being typecast, or are they being cast into a certain role that they're very good at, that every director has recognized them for?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And like that's happened to voice actors as well. And I don't, I mean, like, I do wish that the average layman consumer would be able to recognize that, but at the same time, I know they wouldn't. But like from somebody who consumes and creates content, I'm like, oh, I see that. Like, it's not that you're not putting your all into it. It's just that is the role that you're very well known for. You put your individual best into this character. You try to method act as much as you can into this character, but it is going to ultimately sound like a very recognizable role because people know you for a very good role previously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nate,
And
actually.
something-
Oh, good.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I'm like, something that you learn as a working actor. I'm sorry that I keep bringing up the husband Borg.
No, you're fine.
Because we talk about the
Sorry.
VO industry a lot, but we are talking about what's bookable and like what we get booked for. And you learn as a working actor what in your tool belt, like
Yeah.
what in your little tool belt books. And he was like, yeah, I'm booking like these types a lot these days. And I was like, I'm booking a lot of my higher register where they often sit high and breathy. And
Mhm.
that's usually what I book. And he's like, no, I don't think that's what you normally book. And then I literally, as we were in the car, booked a thing with that voice. I was like, what did I What did I just say, Borg
I love
boy?
that. I love
I think
that.
like
but
Sylla
you
and I
learn
can
what
probably
works.
like relate to each other quite well because like you and I both get cast in a lot of like the roles that you just described. I think that as a content creator, not a voice actor, I get known for the current speaking voice that I have. But as a voice actor, I get known for another register of voice that people don't quite know me well as.
Yeah, and it's good to have that kind of shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get a lot of my characters sound similar, but what I thought was really cool and something that I had to get over was and we mentioned this before, but was the whole like, you sound like this baritone male voice actor who's been acting for longer than you've been alive. And it's like, okay, how do I live up to that shit, right? And then they're people you also respect as your peers and who you have looked up to personally, right? And that's where the imposter syndrome comes in. And you're just like,
yeah.
oh my
yeah.
God, I met Matthew Mercer like a couple of months ago, and I had thousands of shower speeches that I had rehearsed, like what I was gonna say to him, but it all went out the fucking window. And it was nice being able to, as I worked and as I would improve myself and learn more things and play more characters, I found the characters that I would get cast as were distinctly different from everything that Matt would get cast as, or were distinctly different if you look down that line, that roster, you're just like, okay, Matt does this, but like Jonah does this, and Troy does this, and it's like there's tinier things. Like we may occupy a similar vocal register, but there are smaller, nuanced character I play a lot of big brothers. That's why my VTuber's a fucking big brother. I want
He's
him
the
to feel like your
alpha.
big brother, and that's a lot of the characters that I play. And I play a lot of I play samurais, I play knights and heroic people, but I love being the big brother. That's my little that's my fun niche that I occupy.
The Oni-chan of all time.
Yes.
The Oni-chan ever.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
am the Oni-chan ever.
Nate actually asked an interesting question earlier, and I want to get all your opinions on it, and then we can kind of start branching into cooling down. But with all these different roles and these different voices and these different attitudes that you give with your voices and your roles and things like that, is there anything that you do to kind of like bring yourself into them? They specifically ask, I'm sorry, not that one. Where is it? I just scroll up so far.
It's such a good question too. I was keeping my eye on that one.
I gotta see if I can find it.
I think do you guys have any certain triggers to remember the quirks? Is that one?
Yep, quirks and styles and previous voices you've done.
I have. It's not like a Swiss Army knife that I kind of spin out or anything like that. There are certain phrases for like accents and things like that. I've been listening to I've been flying a lot lately. I've been in Europe and all over the place. And those are really long flights.
Oh.
And in order to keep myself entertained, I've been listening to the Lord of the Rings audiobooks being narrated by Andy Serkis, which are
those are so good. They're so good.
It is ear candy. There are, I want to say, 20 different accents that he puts on in this audiobook. He is one of the most skilled actors I've ever heard do an audiobook, and he puts so much passion into it. And because of that, it's been a way for me to like that and watching the BBC. I watched a fuckload of Doctor Who growing up. So it was a very good way for me to like absorb accents, and I don't really need any sort of like, hello governor, okay, I'm ready. Like I don't. It doesn't. It seems it works for some people, just kind of like the way their brain is wired. But yeah, it's you should totally if you haven't picked it up on Audible, please. It's really good.
Have you listened to The Hobbit that he's narrated as well?
I think I did. No. I listened to the older Hobbit from like the late 70s.
That one's pretty good, actually.
He narrated it. Yeah. No, I like that guy's voice.
I think it was Rob Inglis, I think, or
Yeah,
Ingus or
Robert
whatever.
English.
Yeah,
Robert
he
English.
was really good. That's how like because I re-listen to The Hobbit every year. I have a whole Hobbit sleeve on my mortal form. It's great. But Andy Serkis with The Hobbit, and I've been listening to Fellowship as well. It's so good. And like for accent study,
I mean, I should do that. I'm really bad with accents.
yeah, dude, I'm trying to learn a Scottish accent, but I have a friend, Carrie. She's from Scotland.
Oh no.
And she's like, learn the Scottish accent. I'm like, no, you'll laugh at me.
Just
She's like,
learn
oh,
it.
I will.
Oh, I will.
But you should still learn it, and I'll help you. I was like, no, you're just gonna laugh at me.
Oh no.
But in terms of getting into
I'm
the
really
voice,
enjoying this stream. Tie less than 3.
Oh, thank
Tie
you.
less than 3.
yay,
Tie less than 3.
tie you up anyway.
When and where?
Whoa, hey, can I get in line? How much do I? Anyway,
You
sorry.
don't
I,
Whenever you want.
Come back here, you.
I learned a really great technique from Kathy Westluck, who's a fellow Canadian voice actor. They were like near in Death Note. They're Spike in My Little Pony. If anyone remembers Cyber 6, hello.
Yes.
But like, they taught me because they were hearing my natural voice, and they're like, I think you could do a lot of boy voices, which is a huge part of my career now. I play so many boys, which gender euphoria.
Hell
the best.
yeah,
I
let's
love playing
go.
boys. Like the whole season of playing Kiri Uzuki on Uzuki-chan was my favorite. I love that boy. But anyway, sidetracked. But she taught me a wonderful breathing technique where you breathe lower into your register. So like where I'm talking here, it's like I'll give like a crappy demonstration because I'm a little sick right now, but it's just and then you stay right there where it lends up and you go and then you end up kind of in a lower part of your register, and then you can like yawn in that part because yawning is really good for stretching out your vocal cords. So vocal
Oh.
health, yawn a lot. It's great, but breathing into different parts of your register has been super helpful in getting into different parts. So if I'm playing a boy, I will breathe into my lower register or like my chest
I'm
voice.
sorry, kids. Kids in chat, are you guys taking notes?
I was
This
gonna
is,
say,
like,
I hope
free
so.
Voice
Free
acting
tips?
For
tips?
free?
Hello?
I got
Yeah.
in the same
Children?
vein.
Free.
I have like in performances, if you have a voice down, one of the best ways, because a lot of stuff is like we're looking for really, like they say grounded. They don't really know what that means, but
They don't know what that means.
they want these grounded reads. What they really want is for it to sound like a movie. They want it, in layman's terms, they want it to sound like a movie. Filmic reads, and they want to sound like a real person, right? And something that I noticed a lot of actors don't incorporate is breathing. People breathe. Real people breathe.
Yeah.
And if you go through and read a line very clinically, you get a very sterile read. That's good for things where you need to like iron out timing, like JRPGs, which is why there's not a whole lot of breathing unless it says ... sigh or something like that in the JRPG. But like, there's not a whole lot of breathing in those lines because they just don't fit. It doesn't fit. When you breathe, you speak slower. You take your time. One of the biggest tips I've ever gotten in performing was slow down.
Yeah.
If you just breathe and take your time and be deliberate with your deliveries and everything, everything just sounds so much. It elevates everything. It brings it to another level. It's so good.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about the slowing down part? All of my classes with Richard so far, he keeps yelling at me to speed up.
Speed up.
So it's why I practice it so much with streaming. Like when I do my intros and things like that, I try and enunciate while speaking faster.
Interesting.
But he wants me to speed up.
Skill.
Yeah. But
That makes no. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I do like the speaking slower and enunciating more because it gives, at least for me and the characters that I like to voice sometimes, it gives a different inflection, and I feel like I can fall in a different role. And then when I speak faster, I get that, that more nervous, that angsty, that more energetic character, and I can fall into that person. I can fall into that I'm that person then. But it's just ironic hearing literally the opposite.
It depends on the character as well.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like a big example is my best friend, Rachel Thompson, a wonderful fellow voice actress, she played a character, Lilac, in Recovery of an MMO Junkie, which is a delightful show, and everyone should go watch that show. I love that show so much. She played this character, Lilac, and they thought they were going to have to speed this up, like, in post. She had, like, a chunky paragraph that she just had to speed through, and you had to be able to understand everything that she was saying.
Yeah.
She sped read that entire thing, and you could understand every single word, and you did not have to speed it up. They had to speed it up in the J, and you could tell. No. This girl was in high pitched, top of her range head voice, and I was like, oh,
That's amazing.
that is goals.
I love that.
Shit. Talent. Go follow her.
So-
Rachel Thompson.
So you though, do you have any, habits or tricks that you use to get into voices that you have to either reperform or perform that you want to perform?
It depends on the role for sure. There's I think it's because the fact that like one of my first long running streams was Omori, which is a like I love Omori.
Lovely.
If people have played that game, it's so
yeah.
good. But
I voice Kel in this voice,
I
and
love it.
people call it the Ash Ketchum voice.
Oh,
and every now and then like people like go like, hey, do you want to do the Kel voice again for this character? People will like see a certain game that I'm playing. They'll be like, hey, that seems like it fits the Kel voice, and they call it the Kel voice.
And so the Kel voice comes out, and it's kind of grating on my throat, but it's okay. Like as long as
You
I get
sound
enough
like-
warm up.
You sound like a rugrat.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my gosh.
Oh my god, that's such a great word for it.
I
Yeah.
True.
would have expected that voice to come out of you, but
Yeah.
it's so good. Like,
you have
such an incredible range, you.
It's I would encourage like I know we talked about this pre-stream, and so like a little bit of a glimpse behind the scenes here. We talked about the little snail on Alpha's shoulder.
Yeah.
Is that like having a little mascot character really helps you break into your little I'm just gonna bring out a little guy here. Hold on, give me 1 second here.
You
got a
Little
little guy.
boy.
I have a little boy.
Little
Don't
guy.
Your little boy.
here he comes.
Oh,
Oh, hi everyone!
my god, I love them. I love them so much.
It's me!
I want all of them.
Hi everyone, it's me. It's Hiiragi Yuu. I'm a host vtuber. I stream sometimes, I don't know, for 5 minutes at a time whenever the redeem comes up. And yeah, it's me. Hi.
Well, now you have to welcome in the Raiders using that voice.
Oh, hi Freya. What's up?
Hi, Freya.
Hey,
All right, Freya. Welcome in, Raiders.
Welcome.
Oh wait, I said I would use
add
head
hell.
voice.
Yeah, let's go.
Welcome in, Raiders. My name's Roy. I'll be your bunny barista VTuber for today. Pull up a chair, kick up your feet, and let us spoil you rotten.
Beautiful.
He's just a bottom. Oh my god. He's just a bottom.
I don't know what you're talking about. I take that really personally, you know. I work really
Oh my
hard to get
God.
here.
Oh my god.
You worked really hard to get to the bottom?
Yeah. I work really hard to stay down here on my knees, you know?
Oh, so you've practiced being on your knees.
You're damn right. You don't get
Now
calluses like
beg.
these just overnight.
I love this so much. Yeah, go on.
Oh, listen, I can't pull out the NSFW voice acting on Twitch. Listen,
Okay,
that's
okay, that's true,
that's
that's
a skill I haven't gotten to flex yet. But I need more training in it, I'll tell you that much.
Well, hello, Raiders. Sorry for the.
Oh my gosh. Everything's perfect. Everything's amazing. No, I think
You're
that's
perfect.
no, us. All of us are.
All right, I'll accept it.
All right, perfect.
Listen, I have to accept compliments now, otherwise I
Good.
get beat up.
Good.
What if you want to be beat up?
Otherwise,
though?
I get beat up.
I mean, I do, but like, you know.
Well, we can't talk about that kind of thing on this platform, you know what I mean?
What?
What are you talking about? Explain it to me. I don't understand.
Well, you see, when there's an interest in, well, you know, rough and tough.
But I don't know.
It's okay. We'll tell you after stream. We'll tell you after dark.
Okay.
When a VTuber loves a VTuber very much.
Go on
Oh,
the scab
okay,
and
I
commission a
get it.
piece of art where they're fucking each other.
Hell
You
yeah,
know,
buddy.
I've
Oh,
gotten
shit.
close. Gotten close. But no, I think that's really interesting that you all have like these different techniques for jumping in and out of these roles. Something I got into a habit with when I was recording with Sylla is like in the booth when we were changing between roles, because we were going from like the gruff, war-torn like person and doing efforts and battle cries and things like that, and then I had to go to I had to go to my head voice again like right after. I don't know, I'm sure you guys do it too, like when you're in booths and everything, but like I change my physicality a lot, like I move and like
Oh yeah.
so like the big rough and tough, I like ball my fists and I'll like lean forward and I get like really angry, and then like the more like like shy character, I like start like leaning down, I'll like play with my hands.
Yeah, it's part of the whole thing that like I was taught about voice acting and the acting the part of voice acting is that like people aren't gonna see it, but like I had the like great honor and also like just a great experience of being the director for Shoto's most recent voice pack. And so we spent a long time, like almost 2 hours, just chatting in call, and like getting different deliveries on lines. And one of the things that I was talking to him about was just like, if you feel a certain way about a certain line, like get that physical reaction out. Like if you feel like this line feels like it should be spoken with a smile, smile as you're saying it, because people are gonna hear your smile. And if anything, like smile genuinely. Because the people are going to hear that in your voice and they're not going to see your body language, but they are going to feel the difference when you deliver it. And that recording, that take is going to be so different from your other takes.
100%.
I think stances are so important in the booth.
Stance up.
You got to stance up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, because if you're doing it, you're going to hear it. And that's like another piece of advice that I got from Richard Horvitz, which I'm sure you've gotten this as well, Roy.
Oh, no.
But if you're thinking it, we're going to hear it. And that kind of goes into like auditioning, where if you're thinking, I want to book this role, you're not present with the character. And the casting directors are just going to hear that you want to book it. You need to just act that whole scene as if you've already booked it and you're recording that scene. Because if you're thinking it, we'll hear it. Or if you're doing it physically, you're gonna hear the difference in your voice. So like if I'm putting my arms up versus if my arms are down and relaxed, it's a subtle difference, but you're gonna hear it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And especially from the point of
physicality
view
is
of like a director too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you get to the point to not be told to do it too, because I know a lot of people have you get to a certain point when you're getting reads from people where it's just like, okay, just physically do this in the booth. That's happened to me several times with Tony Oliver. He's very much into physicality in the booth and making sure that everything is very animated. One of the most proud parts of Dying Light 2 is the efforts, because I had to do a whole suite of efforts of like somebody who's so do you know how hard it is to like kill somebody? Like actually,
like grunting wise, like
no,
efforts wise.
If I locked you in a room with me and I had to kill you, Roy, do you know how hard it would be for me to kill you physically?
I'm assuming harder than it's sounding.
Yeah, way harder.
Okay.
People don't. Surprised to know, people don't want to die. From like a lizard brain back at the skull point. People don't want to die. So it's very laborious. The act of killing somebody is an incredibly laborious task unless you have like a gun. If you just bare hands, right? And the whole game is based on like medieval, like it's the Dark Ages, essentially. So it's like swords and blunt instruments and things like that.
Sure.
And heavy blunt instruments. You're swinging a signpost. You're swinging like a big metal bar. This thing weighs 20, 30 pounds.
Yeah.
So when I was doing those efforts, I went really hard. We had 2 Fridays. And one had to be base efforts of like, human Aiden as he's swinging. And again, he runs out when you're at 0 stamina. It has to sound like you're like you have 0 stamina.
Oh, yeah.
You have to sound like you are there, right? And then you have to do 0 stamina, max effort. Like some of this stuff sounds like I'm dying. And when you actually die, you don't make a whole lot of noise. It's mostly just breathing and things like that. So, and then I had to do an entire suite of those efforts that sound completely different for infected Aiden. So while he's slowly getting infected, there's like 5 different tiers of infection throughout the when he's infected,
God.
and I have to make each of those sound different. And I'm gonna say the studio's lucky, but I'm lucky that I got to work with the sound designer when he was like doing these with me. Because one thing that I really learned in gaming is in video game voiceover is that battle combat chatter is sound effects. They're just sound effects, right? They just play. Enemy taking right lane, something like that's a sound effect that'll play over and over and over and over and over and over again. You're going to hear that a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to give them what they call elements, right? So, when you're choking, this one had a really cool bubble in it that we heard. It had a really cool gurgle to it. This had a really neat, like, your voice broke at the end of this one, and we want to do that, like, again. So there's a lot of, and that's why we did it on Friday. Because it was like, that's the end of the week, and your voice is shot for the entire weekend, if not into the next week. But it's something that I really, really enjoyed. If you ever play Dying Light 2, please just take a second and swing a weapon around and enjoy those sultry efforts. There's a story, there's a brief story I want to tell, and it's 100% true, and nobody's found it yet. But we had sessions at 9 a.m. most days during the month that I was recording. And because of that, I had to eat breakfast driving to the studio. So I would eat like granola bars every now and again. One day in particular, I ate, fiber bars. And I was driving to the studio. We get there. I get a cup of coffee. We get in. We record the first part of the session. And then I come back out. They're like, okay, we've had, 3 hours of session. Take a break, take 25 minutes. We only have to come back and do some like promotional shit or like, Dying Light 2 available now, that kind of shit. Not like things, the tag stuff that they can record at the end of the session.
Sure.
So I go back in, or I go back out to my car and I have 3 or 4 more fiber bars.
Oh no!
as a lunch option. They're only, I'm like, these are 100 calories. Yeah, quite cool. That's not a heavy. I didn't feel that bad. So then they're like, you know what? It's Friday. Do you want to do some efforts? And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do some fucking efforts. Let's knock some of these out because we have like 5,000 to 7,000 of these to get done.
Yeah.
It's nutty because we have to have so many different variants. And so long story short, we get to like the heaviest, longest, like most brutal efforts that you have to do. It was like 2-handed heavy attack, 2-handed heavy, hit, 2-handed heavy parry. All kinds of crazy shit. But this is like with a massive weapon, so I'm expending a lot of energy on each throw. I got to see, it was really neat. I got to see the stamina bar and how much stamina was being used by each attack. Which as a gamer, I was like, so cool. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. That's really cool. I can like physically see, visualize how winded he is. But we got to a part of it, and when you're recording these lines, they're going through numerous different racks of effects and racks of equalizers and compressors and things like that at the studio before they hear it. You hear it again in your headphones. So because of that, the waveform is super squashed and you're screaming into a microphone.
Yes.
And because of that, everything even around you is very silent, right? So I ripped major ass.
Oh no!
When I was swinging a 2-handed heavy blunt or weapon or something like it's in the 2-handed heavy weapon sets, and he played it back, and I was like, "Holy shit! There's no way they did not hear me like rip a fatty like in here." And I was even afterwards, I'm like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "Yo, what's up?" And I'm like, "Can I hear that? Can I hear that back?" And very, very, very subtle. But you can totally, if you listen very
in the
closely.
Game?
In the game! Because what was I gonna fucking do, Roy?
Hold on, I gotta buy this game right now, live.
If the sound designer didn't hear that, and the engineer didn't hear that, was I gonna say, hey man, I ripped major ass in the last sound effect. Can we delete that and do it again? No! I'm not gonna embarrass myself like that. Not at Side LA. fucking. Oh,
This is
Consider
Dying
this
Light
game
2.
bought and downloaded. Hold on.
Light 2.
Release the fart cut.
it's in
Oh
the
my
game. I've heard it. Nobody is like, because you have to go into what's called a spectralizer to be able to like isolate it.
Oh, to see,
You have to-
yeah,
you have to
yeah.
spectrally analyze the audio file and get in there and find those mid-range frequencies of all the compressed stuff, and then like isolate those frequencies like a fucking hacker man. So nobody's been able to dip the time in to find those. But
I bet Sylvie would find it. He's like, hacker voice. I'm in.
I mean,
He got a clip of this, apparently. Sylvie's always watching. You
Let's
never know.
fucking
Yeah,
go.
give me those raws.
Yeah, give me the
Give me
raw
those
ripping
raws.
ass. There you
That
go.
raw fart.
Give us those raws.
BGM 0, SFX 0, voice 100.
Dying Light 3, let it rip!
Let it rip.
Yes! Oh my goodness. Now,
I hear "Let It Rip" and I just think Beyblade. But
Oh my
that's-
god, yeah. Thank you.
oh my
I was
Damn right,
I was-
Sony loyalty.
no
Yeah.
idea what I was gonna do, but yeah, that's
Oh yeah, Sylvia, I know you
100%
do.
true.
That's why I had you help me with my first demo reel, even though I was very much babby with how I was recording it because, I wasn't really learned yet. I didn't have the knowledge. But regardless, what I do have knowledge of is something very funny that chat redeemed a couple minutes ago, and that is the ways of the era.
Ah,
The first and only redeem we've had the entire stream.
all right.
Do all of you feel comfortable doing an era?
sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna do an example one because we do them a little bit differently here. So first things first, you're gonna widen your stance.
Okay.
Then after you widen your stance, you gotta power stance. And you gotta scream power stance.
Oh, is that my turn? Am I
I mean-
power stancing?
Any of you can power stance now or right before you do your era.
Hold on, I
whatever
got a
you
power
prefer.
stance. I'll give you a power stance.
Give me a power stance.
Where's my claws? There they are.
Where are the claws?
Yeah.
Why are you
I'm
crying?
now? Hold on. Ow, my eye! Ow,
Oh no!
okay, we're good. We're good. This is my power stance.
Okay. All right. And then after you give it the power stance, you give it the old.
Okay. All right. Yada yada daisy.
Yada yada does it. I'm screaming
That
no.
was. I can put this away, right? Yeah, I can. Put this
Yeah,
away.
I think you're good.
I think I
you're
did
good. Sylla, would you like to do one?
Goddamn right, I would.
Oh, hit me.
Power stance.
Ooh.
Ura,
Oh, yeah.
ura.
Oh, hey! See,
Ooh.
there was-
they
What's
screamed
that?
power stance. That's the scream.
I got you, bitch.
Thank you. All right, you.
All right. It's time. The kittens know how this goes.
Oh.
Ooh. Ara, ara.
Oh.
Hey, yo, meow.
Pow-
Power Stone. What a good game.
Power Stone. Yeah, oh my god, I remember Power Stone.
True.
Power Stone for the fucking Dreamcast.
Maybe Capcom will bring it back one day.
Power Stone.
Maybe. You never know. But guys, that is going to bring us to the end of tonight. What do you have coming up soon that you maybe want to plug, promote, or talk about? When are you streaming next? Anything like that?
Oh my goodness. Nothing out of the ordinary. Tomorrow I will be streaming Typing of the Dead, which is
I love House of the Dead so much.
so like as a child I've always loved House of the Dead, but no one would play it with me because everyone's pussies, I guess.
I would play with you. I would play with you.
Thank you.
Always.
My goal is now to meet all my VTuber friends now in my adulthood and play House of the Dead with everyone
Yes.
live. But
I
I'm
love
gonna be playing Typing of the Dead tomorrow, and then next week I promise that I'll finish Pokemon Scarlet and then do a Pokemon Smasher Pass. So I'll probably be doing that
Ooh.
tomorrow, next Friday, and that's about it. Nothing too exciting.
Okay, that sounds like fun. Sylla, what do you got going on?
Oh goodness. Since I have nothing going on tomorrow, I'm probably gonna be back with more Bendy in the Dark Revival tomorrow over on my channel.
Oh,
Probably earlier in the day. And then on Wednesday, you can catch me over on Nat19 Official, where I will be playing Potion Permit, maybe, or working on dice. with my co-star Brayden Alexander. On Thursday, I will be more with Nat19. We'll be playing Devil's Might Surrender. So if you are interested in our Devil May Cry based campaign, please come check us out. We'll be streaming at 5 p.m. PST, which will be 7 p.m. CST. Please come check us out. Friday, I will probably be doing more Bendy or making dice. I haven't decided yet.
Nice.
And then Saturday, more Nat19 for Vestige of a Fucus. And then Sunday will be a day off. Maybe. We'll
Good.
see.
Hopefully.
It depends how I'm feeling.
I hope it's a day off.
It depends how I feel, honestly. I'm feeling much better, so I might go hard this week. But that's where you can find me. It's either over on Sylla Aria or on Nat19 Official is usually where you can find me.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
so glad you're feeling better, by the way.
Me
Yeah,
too,
yeah, I'm
fam.
glad you're not
Honestly,
feeling sick
hanging with
anymore.
y'all has, like, I've felt a lot better.
Yes.
Aw.
We're
It's
therapeutic.
infectious.
Yeah.
Oh, that too. I like yours better.
Or that.
It's
Yeah.
therapeutic, not infectious.
Therapeutically infectious has that.
I do like that.
Like
I do
a
that.
a fucking leech, you know?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Sucking out the illness.
Alpha, what do you have going on?
I tomorrow we are on Strange Box. We are doing a little party stream on CL's stream.
Nice.
And then depending on how long that lasts, I'm gonna start streaming on my channel. We don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do something. It's gonna be fun. I'm a variety streamer mostly. When I play a game, we play it for a week at a time. You know, I kind of pick things up and put things down as I do. I finish everything I start eventually, but if not that, then probably some, Overwatch or something like that. I play a lot of first-person shooters, and you can
Let's
find
go.
me
Who do you main?
in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Oh man, a little bit of everyone. I've been playing a lot of healer lately, just because it's super easy keeping people. It's easier keeping people alive than it is keeping myself alive.
Yeah,
So
feel that.
I've been playing a lot of healer lately, but I main tanks. Been playing a lot of Zarya in Overwatch 2.
Oh, yeah,
specifically.
let's go.
She's super good.
Alpha is fun to play with. I'll tell you that much.
Let's go. But yeah, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Alpha Aniki, and same place on Twitter. And I don't know who the fuck Jonas Scott is.
Yeah, me neither. Guys,
Yeah,
don't forget.
How? Way less cool than Alpha.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, right. What a team.
Yeah.
Guys, don't forget you can check out all of these amazing VTuber and voice actors by looking at the title for this stream. You can see their Twitch pages directly linked because that is a cool new Twitch feature, Rare Twitch W.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rare Twitch W.
Rare Twitch
Have
W.
you heard of this really cool voice actor named RoyZoga?
Oh,
I'm not sure if you have.
He's such a
but-
badass.
Yeah.
I am
Sure.
being bullied.
You like femboys?
Oh my god.
Because
Do
I
you
like femboys.
I
God,
don't
I
Do you
love
like
steal your
femboys?
fucking jackets?
It is Year of Banui.
I'm working on
Yeah.
it. I'm
Have
working
you
on it.
the
wanted
bunny.
to get your jacket stolen by a femboy today? Subscribe now for your chance to get your jacket stolen.
Why did you play that now when you was talking me up as being a femboy? Come on. I can't have
Well,
shit
it's
around
not
here.
a
Good job.
lie per se.
You don't have to like dick.
Alpha, what the hell?
Oh,
Oh
let's
no!
go!
Now you have to subscribe. Ugh,
Alpha, thank you for the 5 gifted.
now you have to subscribe. You're welcome.
Thank you for the 5 gifted. All right.
You gotta.
Oh, now you gotta. Yeah, for
You're
sure.
gonna get a
forced you
taste
to
of it with
subscribe.
that gift sub,
Oh,
and then you're
jeez.
gonna want to come back for more.
There
A
you go.
taste of Roy?
Oh my gosh.
Oh hell yeah!
I've
Lick
heard
the
that I
egg off
taste.
his ass.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
I've heard I taste like carrot cake.
Ooh,
There you
Well,
That's legitimately my
you just mlelm?
You all right?
my followers gifted me a carrot cake for my birthday. They like sent it to my PO box.
That is amazing.
So like canonically, I'm here to my mouth is open for carrot cake.
Hey,
My mouth is open for carrot cake.
perfect. Say less. We'll make sure that you have a birthday to remember.
yeah.
Guys, that is gonna do it for us tonight. Why don't we go ahead and raid someone that we were actually talking about tonight?
Sure.
There's a certain cyborg that is playing some spooky stuff.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
playing
go
Dead
bully
Space? Is
him.
he
Yeah.
playing the remake?
Yes.
Yeah, he's playing the remake, and he's very scared of these
Oh,
kinds of
good.
games. So
Oh,
go hang
let's
out with
go.
him, but also go bully him.
Yes.
Does he have a jump
Because I
scare
love him.
notification?
I
Does he have a
hope so.
redeem?
Maybe
I
this will
hope he's
just
got a
jump
jump
scare
scare.
him. Guys, we're gonna raid
Yeah.
Sayu.
Jump scare.
Yeah.
So be sure to go over and
Yay.
give some hype, some love, and don't forget to check out all these wonderful voice actors that were with me tonight. Guys, thank you so much for coming out tonight. I had a blast with
Yeah,
all of you.
Me too.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us, man.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. I hope we get to hang out sometime soon. But in the meantime, guys, I will see you tomorrow, and I hope you all have a more phenomenal rest of your night.